Chapter 16. The friendship between brothers was like this. They weren't afraid of being short-lived, they only wanted sincerity. Qiao Xiao and Lu Hui stayed until the end. In the end, Lu Hui drank too much and said to Qiao Xiao with a big tongue, "If you weren't underage, I'd definitely drink with you until we're drunk." In the end, Lu Hui vomited into a mess. Qiao Xiao looked at his brother leaning on his shoulder and sighed. Today's incident at home seemed to have affected him greatly. He was in a bad mood, so he drank so much. That Aunt Qi was a cultivator, so she must have some tricks up her sleeve. Lu Hui and his mother were ordinary people, so it wouldn't be easy for them to beat her. Although Qiao Xiao and Lu Hui had known each other for many years, he only knew that his family was rich and that his father was a well-known local entrepreneur. He didn't have much contact with his parents. After tonight's incident, he had a deeper understanding of them. He was indeed indignant for Lu Hui, but the most important thing was his father's attitude. At present, it seemed that his father was obsessed with Aunt Qi, who was like a vixen, and completely ignored his wife at home. Qiao Xiao was sensitive enough to realize that his father's state didn't conform to normal logic. If a normal man had an affair, they wouldn't be so calm about it to protect their status. However, Lu Hui's father seemed to have completely lost his mind. No matter what the occasion, he didn't hide it at all. This was very abnormal. Qiao Xiao wanted to use Sunday to investigate this matter properly. It could also serve as a basis for his good friend's judgment. Qiao Xiao deliberately disguised himself today. He wore a cap, a mask, and sunglasses as his daily equipment. Then, he adjusted his dressing style. He put on an ordinary t-shirt and pants that couldn't be found in a crowd. He saw in the newspaper that there was a detective agency that could help him with the task he wanted to complete. He called them and arranged to meet at a coffee shop. The detective who came was dressed a bit like Qiao Xiao. He covered himself up tightly, as if he didn't want others to recognize him. When they arrived at the coffee shop, the two sat down and sized each other up for a long time. Qiao Xiao went straight to the point. "I want to investigate a woman's love history. Have you done anything similar?" The detective's surname was Wang. "This is our regular service, but the fee isn't low. You don't have to worry about the cost, but I want something valuable and real." "No problem. I'll give you an answer in 3 days." Qiao Xiao paid the deposit in advance. He directly investigated Aunt Qi. Lu Hui's father, Lu Haotian, shouldn't have too many problems. Qiao Xiao guessed that the woman had created an opportunity to pester Lu Haotian's father. After this matter was settled, Qiao Xiao secretly went to Lu Haotian's residence. According to Lu Hui, Lu Haotian had moved out a long time ago. They lived in a villa in the eastern suburbs, and he had been there twice. Qiao Xiao purposely got information from Lu Hui when he was drunk. He was now standing outside the villa. This was a high-end villa area, and there were many surveillance cameras around. Qiao Xiao looked at the surveillance cameras around him. It seemed that it wouldn't be easy for him to sneak in. He could only use magic. He made a chant and drew a circle around himself. Then, his whole body was covered in a layer of black fog. It was hazy and difficult to see clearly. Then, he directly jumped onto the wall. Even if the camera caught him, it was a cloud of black fog. It was impossible to see that he was a person. The villa was very big. After he climbed over the wall, he bypassed a swimming pool and walked to the outside of the main building. The main building had a total of 4 floors. It seemed that there were 2 floors underground. The underground mezzanine was a 5-meter-tall dining room. Lu Haotian and Aunt Qi were having lunch there, and there were several servants waiting on them. Qiao Xiao hid in a corner and observed their interaction. He saw Aunt Qi with a seductive smile on her face. She was ladling soup for Lu Haotian. After she carefully filled a small bowl with soup, she didn't directly hand it to Lu Haotian. Instead, she secretly put something in it. "Haotian, come and drink this bowl of soup. It's very nutritious for your body." "You little vixen, what kind of soup are you going to give me?" Lu Haotian laughed with joy. Then, he pinched Aunt Qi's butt. "Just drink it. You don't have to worry about it. I guarantee that you'll be happy. It's very good for your body. I'm relying on you now. You're my sky. You must take care of your body. Chow Chow looked at the white mist above Aunt Chi's head. It was like a small snake twisting around. After Lu Haotian heard this, he felt like a hero. He hugged Aunt Chi's small waist and let her sit on his body. Little Chi, are you worried about something again? With me here, you don't have to worry about anything. Haotian, I'm still not sure. When do you think you can marry me? Aunt Chi pretended to be aggrieved. Don't worry. As long as we're separated for a certain period of time, the court will automatically grant a divorce. At that time, I'll give you a fair wedding. Aunt Chi was very happy to get a promise. She used a small spoon to feed Lu Haotian the soup. As the two drank, Lu Haotian's hand on her waist started to become naughty. Aunt Chi's body twisted a bit. She looked at the servants around her and said shyly to Haotian, "There's someone here." Lu Haotian coughed and said, "You can all leave." The group of servants left. Lu Haotian no longer had any scruples. He directly reached out and pinched Aunt Chi's body. Aunt Chi was pinched until she laughed. "Every time I drink the soup you give me, I can't hold back the beast in my body." What kind of soup is this? Lu Haotian couldn't control himself anymore. He began to capture the swaying red lips. "Don't worry. This is definitely the best for your body. I asked for it from a temple. It can help our relationship last for a long time." "Okay, then let's go for a long time." Lu Haotian picked up her petite body by the waist and walked towards a guest room next to the dining room. Chow Chow couldn't follow them in at this time. He didn't want to watch a live erotic scene. He looked at the soup for a long time and felt that there was something wrong with it. Thus, he found a small bottle and poured some of the leftover soup into it. Then, he left. Chow Chow went straight home. Although he had doubts in his heart, he didn't know what it was. He could only ask his family's experienced Uncle Wu. Chow Chow looked expectantly at Uncle Wu sniffing the bottle. "How is it, Uncle Wu? What is this thing?" Uncle Wu frowned. "This should be a kind of elixir used by cultivators. But I can't tell what it's made of." Chow Chow was a little disappointed. "Where did you get it?" "I got it from a cultivator in the human world." Uncle Wu immediately asked nervously, "Is it Yenran?" "It's not Yenran. It's another one. I've realized that there are quite a lot of cultivators in the human world. I've already met a few. Have you been discovered by them?" Uncle Wu was very nervous. "I don't know. They might have discovered me. But this person doesn't know me. I got this soup by chance." "Young master, I told you last time that you can't get close to cultivators in the human world. You should stay as far away as possible. Miss Yenran has already promised me that she won't hurt you. But you have to be careful of the others." "I know, Uncle Wu. Don't worry. I can protect myself." Chow Chow returned to his room and stared at the small bottle for a long time. It seemed that he still had to find a cultivator for help. He picked up the phone and dialed Yenran. "What are you doing, Yenran? Do you want to come out for a date?" Chow Chow returned to his casual self as soon as he called Yenran. "Don't talk nonsense. If you have something to say, say it." Yenran's cold voice came from the phone. Chow Chow touched his nose. "I'm just kidding. Are you free in the afternoon? I have something to talk to you about." "What is it?" "It's about the cultivators in the human world." Yenran was silent for a while. "Okay, I'll see you in an hour at the coffee shop." Chow Chow jumped out of bed and began to rummage through the cabinets for clothes. He tried one set after another, but it seemed that he was not satisfied. At this time, he was a little annoyed with his eyes. There were only 3 colors of clothes in his wardrobe, and there were only a few styles after changing. It seemed that he had to buy some more clothes. With such a handsome figure, it would be a waste if he did not wear good clothes. When he finally changed into a set of casual clothes that he felt satisfied with, he was suddenly stunned. He was not really going on a date. Why did he have to make such a big fuss? He scratched his hair in annoyance and looked in the mirror. He found that his hair was a little messy. He combed it with a comb, sprayed some hair gel, and tidied up his proud bangs. Finally, he walked out of the door with satisfaction. Yenran was also in her room. She had changed into a pink dress. Suddenly, she remembered that Xiao Zhao's eyes were not good. He could not see colors at all. So she changed into a pure white dress. After changing, she felt that it was a little monotonous. She began to look for a necklace in her jewelry. Finally, she found a sapphire blue necklace. She hung it around her neck. Her neck was slender, and her skin was white and tender. She was indescribably beautiful. When she went out, Yenran's mother was sitting in the living room watching TV. When she saw Yenran dressed so pure and cute, she could not help but praise, "My daughter is so beautiful and refined. Where are you going?" Yenran was not as calm as usual. Instead, she looked a little guilty. "A classmate asked me out to buy a book." "Which classmate? Have you seen her before?" Yenran's mother changed the channel with the remote control and asked casually. "Oh, it's a female classmate. Mom, you haven't seen her before." After saying that, she was afraid that her mother would ask more questions. She quickly changed her shoes and left. Chapter 17. Xiao Xiao arrived at the coffee shop first and saw Yenran swaying towards him. She was wearing a white dress, which made her look like a blooming white lotus. She was fresh, refined, and incomparably beautiful. Especially her slim waist, which swayed gently from side to side as she walked. He could not help but whistle. There weren't many people in the coffee shop, but everyone's eyes were focused on Yenran, who was walking in from the door. "This chick is hot. She has a great figure. Although her temperament is a bit cold, she looks more energetic when she's cool." The comments of several boys nearby reached Xiao Zhao's ears. Xiao Xiao took off his sunglasses and mask. He gave Yenran a big smile. "Beauty, let's add each other on WeChat." Yenran rolled her eyes at him. "I used to think that you were quite decent. Why are you becoming more and more like a little hooligan?" "I'm romantic and elegant." "How can I be a hooligan? And I'm not like this to everyone. When I see a beauty, I can't help it." Xiao Xiao flicked his hair slightly and leaned back on the sofa lazily. His two long legs were crossed and stretched from under the table to Yenran's feet. "You're so talkative. Tell me, why are you looking for me? Why are you in such a hurry? Let's order something to drink first. I'm thirsty after rushing all the way here." Xiao Xiao waved his hand to call the waiter. They each ordered a cup of coffee. "I say, why are you dressed so beautifully today? Did you know? Just now, several boys were talking about you." Xiao Xiao looked at her and pretended to frown. He shook his head slightly. "I really didn't know that you were so attractive. Why do I feel so jealous? When I was at the door, I heard a few girls say that there was a handsome guy sitting inside. Were they talking about you?" "Oh." Xiao Xiao was proud. He straightened up and leaned closer to Yenran. "What did they say about me?" "They said that you looked quite handsome, but you covered yourself up so tightly that you looked like a celebrity. Who knows if it's ugly or not?" After saying that, Yenran couldn't help but laugh out loud. Is that a compliment?" Xiao Xiao glared at Yenran, and then suddenly smiled brightly at Yenran. "Am I handsome? When will you be able to feel it?" Yenran's little heart suddenly flashed by this smile. This little hooligan's facial features were all very delicate when separated, but when combined together, they were even more perfect. Although his face wasn't that pale, it didn't reduce the lethality of his smile. Especially when Xiao Xiao smiled, his peach blossom eyes became long and slender. The corners of his eyes were slightly hooked, and his thick eyelashes formed a black eyeliner. He was devilishly charming and seductive. Yenran didn't have much of an expression on her face, but her palms were sweaty and her ears were slightly red. "Sir, this is the coffee you ordered." "Miss, this is the coffee you ordered." "Also, this gentleman specially ordered a small piece of cake for you." Fortunately, the waiter served the coffee and cake, which relieved Yenran's inner awkwardness. I don't like to eat small cakes. Yenran directly rejected Xiao Zhao's kindness. Girls will become soft when they eat sweets. Where can a girl like you find a boyfriend in the future? That's not something you should care about. Look at those soft and cute girls. They usually like to eat sweets and drink milk tea. They are cute and considerate. Sorry, are you done? Can you not continue this topic? Why did you ask me to come here? Yenran stiffly interrupted Xiao Zhao's words. She just didn't want to continue listening. Xiao Xiao was talking nonsense. He must be here to cause trouble for her today. Okay. I won't talk about it anymore. You're a stubborn person with a high IQ but low EQ. I'll slowly teach you in the future. Xiao Xiao seemed to feel that it was a pity and lazily sat back on the sofa. He took out the bottle of liquid from his pocket and pushed it in front of Yenran. Look at this. Can you recognize what it is? Yenran opened the bottle cap and took a sniff. A very strange smell rushed into her nose. She frowned. This is very similar to a kind of pill that we cultivators usually take, but the smell is poles apart. Smelling it carefully, I don't know what it is mixed with. Where did you get it? I got it from one of your cultivators. You've seen that person before. It's that Aunt Chi who came to cause trouble at Lu Hui's birthday party. How do you know that she's a cultivator? When she was angry on the stage that day, white chi came out of her head. I saw it at a glance. I saw it at that time too, but I couldn't be sure because there was too little chi on her head. Didn't you always say that you cultivators protect humans? But I want to see how this person can go and harm other people's families. Cultivators are also humans. Maybe she and Lu Hui's father are really in love with each other. You can't say for sure. If they were really in love with each other, then I wouldn't have come to find you. Lu Hui told me that about half a year ago, his father suddenly changed. At first, he wasn't so distant from them, but later, it was as if he was obsessed with that woman and lost his mind. His father didn't return home for nearly 3 months. This is someone else's family matter. Do you think it's appropriate for you to interfere? To you, it's someone else, but Lu Hui is my brother. I think there's something wrong with this woman. She often lets Lu Hui's father drink from this bottle. When Yenran heard that, she frowned. Are you sure? I knew you would ask that. Your brother Qiao, I've already prepared everything. Let me show you this video. Yenran looked at the scene of Lu Haoran's father and Aunt Chi having lunch together. She felt a little uncomfortable. After watching it awkwardly, you're too bold. You actually dared to sneak into someone else's house. I've said before, don't use your devil chi to do bad things. Yenran began to become serious again. Am I doing bad things? I think you should capture the bad people among you cultivators first. Xiao Xiao was a little unhappy. Whether this Aunt Chi is a bad person or not, who can be sure now? I have a feeling that Lu Haotian was seduced by her. I don't dare to make this assertion without any evidence. How about this? I'll think of a way to verify the composition of this liquid and see what it is. We'll make a decision later, okay? Yenran thought about it and discussed it with Xiao Xiao. Okay, then I'll leave this matter to you. I'll think of a way to find other evidence. After discussing the big matter, Xiao Zhao's sloppy attitude returned. Then what are we going to do next? Go watch a movie? Yenran lowered her head and didn't say anything. She silently began to eat the cake. Is the cake delicious? I want to have a bite too. Xiao Xiao suddenly wanted to tease her. Yenran was stunned for a moment. She was about to wave her hand and ask the waiter to bring another spoon. She saw Xiao Xiao quickly take the spoon in her hand, dig a small piece and put it in his mouth. Yenran suddenly blushed. Don't you know how to be hygienic? I've eaten that before. Xiao Zhao's right elbow was propped on the back of the sofa. His hand was clenched into a fist. His head was propped up. He chewed the cake in his mouth and looked at Yenran with a leisurely smile. It's over. This conversation is over. Xiao Xiao felt that he played a little too much. He guessed that Yen Ran would be angry. He didn't expect that after Yen Ran said that sentence, she began to lower her head and didn't speak. However, she didn't eat the cake. After a while, Yen Ran said, "If there's nothing else, then I'll leave first." After saying that, she got up and was about to leave. Qiao Xiao hurriedly stepped forward and grabbed her. "Don't be in a hurry to leave. I have something else to talk to you about." After he pressed Yen Ran to sit down, he was racking his brains. He didn't know what he was thinking, but he just didn't want Yen Ran to leave. "Tell me about the cultivators in the human world. What are the missions that you usually have?" Yen Ran sat down and took a sip of coffee. In fact, the cultivators in the human world are no different from other people except for cultivation. We all have some ancestral magic. If you have good aptitude from a young age, you will be selected as a successor to undergo comprehensive training. When you cultivate to a certain level, you will be sent out on missions. When human beings are threatened with death, we will take action to eliminate all the hidden dangers that threaten human beings. Then there are some among you who use your magic to harm human beings? Qiao Xiao couldn't help but ask curiously. There are some because they are strong. Sometimes, in order to achieve their own selfish desires, they will do some wrong things. However, cultivators also have an internal monitoring system. Once a cultivator is found to have such behavior, all his magic will be abolished and he will become an ordinary person. At the same time, if he violates the law of the human world, the police will punish him. Are you the only cultivator in your family? 3 generations of my family have been cultivators. My grandfather is a founding member. In general, the world of cultivation in the human world is divided into 4 sects: East, West, South, and North. My family belongs to the South sect. We have a system and organization. Wow, that sounds very high and mighty. How many bad people have you punished so far? There are many bad people. In fact, it is very obvious. Those who have black energy above their heads are usually bad people, combined with what they have done. After saying that, Yen Ran glanced at Qiao Zhao's head. The black energy above your head is very dense. So at first, I really thought of you as an evil person. Now you realize that your brother Qiao is good, right? If people like me were bad, 90% of the people in the world would be executed. I should say that I haven't found out that you have done anything bad. But what I'm most worried about is that one day, you will be corrupted. If you can't control your devil energy, the consequences will be very serious. Qiao Xiao thought about it. His devil energy was indeed a little out of control recently. After hearing Yen Ran's words, he began to worry. Then what should I do? This is also what gives me a headache. Previously, I wanted you to practice the spells of the human world to see if you can get rid of the devil energy. In the end, the resistance in your body was very strong. You directly fell into a coma for 7 days. I don't know what to do with you now. When I go home this time, I will ask my grandfather if he has encountered a situation like yours. Qiao Zhao's eyes turned. Suddenly, he made a gesture of a hungry tiger pouncing on its prey. His hands were clawed, his mouth was wide open, and his eyes were wide open. He was about to pounce on Yen Ran fiercely. Yen Ran was shocked. She reached out and patted his head. What are you doing? Are you trying to scare me to death? Chapter 18. Hey, you can't touch a man's head. How can you touch my head so casually? I just wanted to show you what I look like after the dark side and see if you're scared. I'm just teasing you. Qiao Xiao rubbed her head, tidied up her messy hair, and said with grievance. While they were chatting, Yen Ran unknowingly picked up the spoon again and ate the rest of the cake bite by bite. Qiao Xiao glanced and found that the cake was finished by Yen Ran. He smiled with satisfaction. The two sat for a while and casually chatted for a long time. No one mentioned leaving again. They just chatted like this and the afternoon passed. The sky was almost dark. At this time, Yen Ran said, I have to go. I have to go back for dinner tonight. Qiao Xiao stretched and looked at Yen Ran's cold little face. He asked tentatively, How about I treat you to dinner? I still have something to do. I'll go back first. Yenran refused directly this time. She stood up and put the small bottle away. She waved her hand and disappeared from Qiao Zhao's sight. Qiao Zhao sat on the sofa for a long time. He was in a good mood. Looking at the cake on the table that was eaten clean, Qiao Zhao was so cute. 2 days later, Yenran didn't go home after school. Instead, she took time to take a taxi to the suburbs of Nanchuan. There was a villa at the foot of the mountain. It was surrounded by spiritual energy and the scenery was beautiful. It was Yenran's grandfather's house. Yenran's grandfather was the old man who did Tai Chi in the yard last time. Before Yenran entered the yard, the old man seemed to have sensed something. He smiled and said to the housekeeper, "My good granddaughter came to see me." The housekeeper didn't believe it. "Master, you think too much of Miss Yenran. She's busy with her homework now. She must be at home doing her homework." But as soon as he said that, he saw Yenran walk through the door. The butler turned around and gave his master a thumbs up. His foresight was amazing. "Haha, Yenran, long time no see. Grandpa missed you." The hale and hearty old man saw Yenran and smiled from ear to ear. "Grandpa, I missed you too. That's why I came to see you today." Yenran's face was no longer cold. She changed into a cute little girl's face. The grandfather and granddaughter sat down in the living room. The housekeeper quickly served a cup of Miss Yenran's favorite tea. "Yenran, what do you think of the hibiscus book that I asked your father to bring you? That hibiscus cultivation manual is more profound than the books I use to practice. There are a few bottlenecks that I haven't broken through yet." Yenran replied cautiously. "This hibiscus book is a family heirloom passed down from our ancestors. It was different from other cultivation spells in the human world. It focused on cultivating one's mental strength. It is said that our ancestor obtained a secret manual from the Devil Realm when he was traveling through the 6 realms. Demon world. Doesn't that mean people with demonic aura can cultivate it? There shouldn't be any taboos. It's just that people with demonic aura will become stronger after cultivating it. The harm they cause to the human world will be even more terrifying. Only if your cultivation is higher than theirs can you control the incarnations of these demons and ghosts. Otherwise, the world will be in chaos." Grandpa said solemnly. Yenran originally wanted to ask Grandpa about Qiao Zhao's situation. But after hearing Grandpa's words, she bit her lip and swallowed her words. Yenran sipped her tea and thought about what to say. Then, she took out the small bottle from her bag and handed it to Grandpa. "Grandpa, please help me take a look at what this is." Grandpa opened the bottle, took a look, and sniffed. His eyes widened. "Yenran, where did you get such a vicious thing?" "It's from another cultivator. I got it by chance, but I don't know what it is. So, I brought it to Grandpa to take a look. This is a very domineering bewitchment drug. It's like a kind of goo poison that was passed down in the south of China. If someone takes this drug, they will go against their own will and fall in love with the drug's owner. After a long time, it will endanger their life. This drug needs to be specially made. It can only be refined by adding the person's blood. I thought this kind of poison technique was long lost. I didn't expect you to find it. Is the person who has this drug a woman?" "Yes. Grandpa, she's a woman. She's now a third party in someone else's family. Sure enough, this woman uses this drug to control a man's mind. We can't keep this kind of person. She may not only harm one person but a group of people. After she achieves her goal, she will move on to the next person. But Grandpa, I found that she's also a cultivator like us. There's also steam coming out of her head." "Is the gas thick?" "It's okay. It's quite faint, but I can see it. She should be a person with a low cultivation. She could also be from a side branch of a big family." "Grandpa, there's something I don't understand. Don't we cultivate to protect the human world? Why would there be cultivators who go against their mission? Cultivation is a special ability given to us by the heavens. In our ancestors' belief, it was to save the world. But generation after generation, Many people's eyes have been blinded by the prosperity of the human world. Plus, cultivation is very difficult. There aren't many people with a firm mind like yours. And because they have special abilities, it's easy for them to blend in with the human world. With identity and status, they won't take protecting the human world as their life's mission. Therefore, among the cultivators, there were many scums with low cultivation or weak minds. Cultivators also go against the teachings of their ancestors. This is the reason for your father's existence. The mission you usually take is to deal with people with black gas. But other than this mission, your father is also the police of all cultivators. If you find a cultivator like the one you met, you can directly hand it over to your father and let him deal with it. Our ancestors were the only ones who had the right to supervise the 4 big families. So the burden on our shoulders is heavier. Yenran, you're still young, but you can already take on heavy responsibilities. You've completed every mission well. I saw the news report last time. The gang leader in the Black Forest was finally executed. You played a big role. In the future, when your father is old, you'll also take over his job. This is our family's lifelong belief. Grandpa, Yengwa is also growing very fast. He can also take over my father's job in the future. No. Yengwa's aptitude is much worse than yours. In the cultivation world, strength is the most important thing. So the burden of our family must be on your shoulders. You must practice that hibiscus manual well. It will raise your cultivation by more than 1 level. Grandpa, I have another question. Since not everyone in our cultivation world is a good person, is it possible that the people with black gas are not bad people? How is that possible? The black gas above their head proves that they have been corrupted. It's only a matter of time. When their mind is really controlled by the demonic nature, they will become a malignant tumor in society. If you meet someone with black gas above their head, you must find a way to get rid of their black gas. You can't let them develop on their own. After listening to her grandfather's words, Yenran felt as if a big stone had been hammered down on her heart. She was a little breathless. Grandpa, have you met anyone who can't get rid of their black gas? I haven't met anyone like that. If you can't get rid of their black gas, then find a way to abolish all the magic in their body and turn them into an ordinary person. Will it be extremely painful to abolish a person's magic? Of course it will be. It's equivalent to removing all the spiritual energy that they have absorbed from each of their meridians. It's more painful than washing their marrow. But compared to harming the human world, it will bring more pain to others. This pain is what they should suffer. Yenran, I know you have a kind heart. But when you meet this kind of bad person, you must not be soft-hearted. Otherwise, it will lead to a disaster. Every word of her grandfather's words was like a heavy hammer hitting Yenron's heart. She suddenly panicked and didn't know what to do. She was out of her wits. She was no longer in the mood to chat with her grandfather. She found an excuse and fled from her grandfather's villa. After returning home, she locked herself in her room and lay on the bed in a daze. Her mother knocked on the door for a long time. She answered sullenly, I seem to have caught a cold. I'm going to sleep first. Her mother muttered at the door for a long time, It's strange. Yenran never gets sick. How can she get sick? Yenran thought so much that her head hurt. She changed into her pajamas and went to sleep. But she couldn't fall asleep no matter how she tossed and turned. In a daze, she seemed to have come to the edge of a cliff, and Xiao Xiao was right in front of her. At first, they were walking side by side. Xiao Xiao was joking with her with a cheeky smile. She didn't know what they were talking about, but Xiao Xiao suddenly made a face at her. She burst out laughing. Then the face grew fangs and sharp horns appeared on its head. Xiao Xiao's eyes emitted black smoke and blood flowed out of the corner of his mouth. This face scared Yenran so much that she covered her face. At this time, her grandfather suddenly appeared. He cast a magic spell and directly hit Xiao Xiao, who fell to the ground. At this time, Xiao Xiao didn't give up. He continued to pounce on her grandfather like a ghost. Boss Yen shouted, How dare such a filthy thing do this? Then, Yenron's grandfather clasped his hands together, forming a white ball in his hands. At first, the white ball was surrounded by white gas, and the wisps could be seen clearly. Soon, as her grandfather's hands rotated around the ball, the white ball became bigger and bigger. Soon, it became a big ball with a diameter of 1 meter. Go! Following her grandfather's shout, the white ball flew towards Xiao Xiao, covering his entire upper body from neck to chest. Xiao Xiao immediately tilted her head back in pain and roared into the sky in pain. Then, her chest began to show signs of splitting outwards. Streaks of light were drawn out from her chest, as if pulling out her tendons and peeling off her bones. Yenran was heartbroken. She couldn't stand up anymore. She knelt on the ground and covered her face with her hands. She couldn't bear to watch anymore. Sobs came out of her throat. Yenran, how can you be so kind? Being kind to your enemy is the cruelest to yourself. This demon has been tied up by me. You come and execute him on the spot. Yenran climbed up from the ground with trembling legs. She wanted to raise her hands and execute Xiao Xiao, but her hands were completely out of her control. She couldn't gather qi. Quick! Her grandfather shouted. Yenran was shocked. She was holding her trembling wrists when she heard Xiao Xiao shout, "You call yourselves chivalrous people, but you can't tell right from wrong. I won't accept my fate." Then, he jumped off the cliff with the white ball. Yenran bounced up from the bed. Her heart was beating fast. She gasped for air and was covered in cold sweat. Chapter 19. The next day, Yenran came to the classroom with a pair of dark circles under her eyes. Before she went out, she put on some light makeup to cover up the bruises around her eyes, but it still couldn't cover up her haggard look. When Xiao Xiao entered the classroom, he saw the stingy bun on top of Yenron's head listlessly and weakly lying on top of her head. On the other hand, he was in a very good mood. Yenran saw the black aura above his head and did all kinds of cool moves. He nimbly did a street dance and walked in front of her. He even made a shooting gesture and froze. Xiao Xiao walked to Yenron's desk and pulled the mask up to his chin. He took off the sunglasses and put it in his mouth. He revealed a big smile and winked. "Yo! What's up with our Bingshan Yen today? This smoky makeup is pretty cool." Yenran looked at him and had mixed feelings. She remembered the dream last night and felt very uncomfortable. She stiffly pulled the corner of her mouth and dryly said, "I didn't sleep well. I'll teach you a good way to cure insomnia. Every day, hang my handsome picture on your bed and look at it until you fall into your memories. It'll be like a dream and then you'll be able to fall asleep." Xiao Xiao bent down and used the hand that was holding the sunglasses to support himself on Yenran's desk. He looked at her smoky makeup and spoke very seriously. Yenran didn't have any reaction and still had a cold face. However, the sweet girl Juchi came over and looked at Xiao Xiao and blinked her big eyes and expectantly said, "Really? Brother Xiao, then will you also enter my dreams?" Of course, it said that if you look at more handsome people, you will also become more beautiful. The little trumpet Ma Xiaoxian also came to join in the fun. "When I go back, I'll find Brother Qiao's most handsome picture and hang it up. I'm so happy, Juchi, as my exclusive photographer, have you hidden a lot of my photos?" Xiao Xiao asked curiously. Juchi blushed and said, "There are quite a few, but Brother Qiao, I think I can make even better ones. Recently, I've been learning how to edit pictures, and you are my most successful work. Look, this is my true fan. Bing Shan Yen, as my home tutor, you've done a lot for me." Xiao Xiao gave Juchi a thumbs up. Yenran suddenly felt a little unhappy. She stuffed 2 books into Xiao Xiao's arms. "Do you think I haven't given enough? Today, I want you to memorize all the parts that I folded." Xiao Xiao shouted, "The tigress is showing her power. Run!" After being disturbed by Xiao Xiao, Yenron's mood changed. She no longer thought about what happened last night and felt a lot better. After a whole morning of class, Xiao Xiao looked at the little dumpling on Yenron's head the whole morning. It was always listless and not in a good mood. He couldn't help but feel strange. Could it be, before the afternoon class, Chow Xiao suddenly patted Zhang Deyong's shoulder. Big Yang, did you have a hard time studying today? Zhang Deyong was a little confused. It's okay. It's like this every day. Do you feel very thirsty? It's okay. Zhang Deyong was still very confused. Brother Chow, it's especially hard today. I'm also very thirsty. What should I do? The little trumpet Ma Xiaoxian saw that Brother Chow wanted to cause trouble and said very cooperatively. Me too. I'm so tired. I want to drink milk tea. Chow Xiao pretended to stretch. Oh, then wait a little longer. A girl will send it to you in a while. Zhang Deyong was really going to die. Grinding teeth. Brother Chow, do you want to drink something special? I'll buy it for you. Ma Xiaoxian saw that Zhang Deyong was undermining him again and quickly tried to smooth things over. Xiaoxian, I realize that you know me the best in the class. I want to drink a cup of hot milk tea. The taste should be the red dates. Seeing that everyone has worked so hard, I'll treat the whole class to milk tea today. Xiaoxian, I'll teach you. I promise to complete the mission. Ma Xiaoxian immediately closed his legs and gave a military salute. Then, he secretly sent a WeChat message to Chow Xiao. Brother Chow, do you want to bring anything else? Chow Xiao thought for a while and replied, bring a few heating pads. Thus, under the cheers of the whole class, everyone in the afternoon had a cup of warm red date milk tea in their hands. When Yen Ran was packing her bag after school, she saw that there were a few heating pads and couldn't help but be stunned. Chow Xiao's WeChat message also came on her phone. I heard that heating pads are quite useful. Black face. Today was already the third day. It was the day that Chow Xiao and the private detective met. After school that day, Chow Xiao went to the coffee shop that he originally booked to wait. He came a little early and ordered a cup of coffee. When he was halfway through, the private detective came in with a file. When the private detective came in, he ordered a cup of cold water. He took a few big gulps and wiped the sweat off his forehead before sitting down. I say, Old Wang, it's almost winter. Why are you still sweating so much? Chow Xiao looked at him strangely and asked. This job of yours isn't easy. There are people everywhere blocking the way. In the past 3 days, I spent a lot of manpower and money to get some important information. This woman looks ordinary, but she's quite capable. Old Wang drank a few more mouthfuls of water and finally calmed down a little. Oh, seems like you found something? Chow Xiao asked happily. Of course. When I, Old Wang, am involved, is there any case that I can't solve? But this time, I didn't expect that I would have to spend a lot of money. Since I worked so hard, shouldn't I increase it a little? Old Wang's small eyes flashed with a shrewd light. As long as your things are valuable, money isn't a problem. Chow Xiao waved his hand to calm Old Wang's heart. Old Wang smiled and handed the file to Chow Xiao. This woman isn't simple. If I didn't find some connections, it would be impossible to find out. She's so capable. Look, these are the men she's been with. Chow Xiao opened the file and saw 4 clipped documents. At the top of each document was a photo of the woman and a man. The 2 people in the photo were very intimate. Chow Xiao really thought highly of Old Wang. It had been a long time, so how did he find these photos? She's been with a total of 4 men. Lu Haotian is the one she's with now. The previous few men's status is comparable to Lu Haotian's. They're all well-known entrepreneurs in other provinces. What's strange is that when she was with these men, their businesses were at the peak of their power. But after she broke up with them, she found that these businesses were on the verge of bankruptcy. Moreover, the previous few men seemed to have contracted a serious illness. They're really scumbags. Chow Xiao gnashed his teeth in hatred. If he didn't find this woman by chance, Lu Hui's family might have been ruined in a few years. Chow Xiao looked at the documents carefully and found that the woman didn't seem to have changed much after so many years. However, she had been with these men for a total of 5 years. He couldn't help but ask curiously, how old is this woman? Old Wang looked at him with admiration. Little brother, your observation is really meticulous. This is what I've always been puzzled about. In order to find out the answer to this question, I spent a lot of money to get in touch with my connections. In the end, I found out that this woman's age has always been 32. It hasn't changed in the past 10 years. She's so capable that she can tamper with the country's system? I don't know how she did it. There's another thing that's very mysterious. This woman appeared out of thin air. Her childhood experience can't be found. I feel that ever since she registered in the country system, she was 32 years old. It hasn't changed. That's too strange. Chow Xiao really couldn't figure it out. So, brother, I feel that it's worth it to find out. As detectives, we have professional ethics. We don't help the evildoers. We also hope to get rid of evil for the people. With the real information, Chow Xiao had a plan in mind. Thank you, Old Wang. This really helped me a lot. He generously took out his phone and paid the fee directly to Old Wang. Old Wang received the transfer from Chow Xiao and was in a good mood. He reminded again, little brother, it's inevitable that we'll give ourselves away when we're investigating. This person isn't simple. I'm a little worried that she might be alerted. If she knows that you're investigating her, you must be prepared. Old Wang, thank you for the reminder. Chow Xiao thanked him sincerely. Little brother, you're a straightforward person. You're worth becoming friends with. Let's keep in touch in the future. Old Wang left happily. After Old Wang left, Chow Xiao sat in the coffee shop for a long time. He carefully looked through the documents again, not missing a single detail. Gradually, he formed a plan in his mind, but the key part was still Yanran's help. At this time, it was already late. Chow Xiao thought that he might as well eat there and call Yanran over to discuss it. After Yanran returned home in the afternoon, she opened her school bag and took out her homework. She also took out the heat pack she received. She looked at the heat pack in a daze, but suddenly she laughed. Is it what I think? This fool. She opened the book and began to do the questions. However, that sloppy smile kept floating in front of her eyes. She felt that this face was particularly annoying. There was already an ink spot on the book because of the long time she stayed there. When Yanran noticed it, she hurriedly wanted to wipe it, but it was too late. She picked up her phone and wanted to send a message to Chow Xiao to thank him for the heat pack. She just clicked on his profile picture. Forget it, I'll wait. Or I'll call him again to tell him the results of the bottle. Forget it, I'm restless today. She didn't know how to face him. She put down the phone again. Just as Yanran was hesitating back and forth, her phone suddenly rang. Yanran glanced at it. It seemed to be a name that started with the word Chow. She felt as if she was scolded. Her hand suddenly slipped, and the phone slipped from the table to the ground. The melodious ringtone was like a horn urging her to quickly pick it up. She squatted down and picked up the phone. There were 2 words written on the phone: Chow Xiao. Chapter 20. Hello, beautiful Yanran, are you feeling better? Chow Xiao's ruffian voice came from the phone. Yanran sat up straight and her face returned to its usual calm expression. She cleared her throat and replied, yes. Chow Xiao then said, have you had dinner? I'll treat you to dinner. Yanran's first reaction was to refuse. Before she could open her mouth, Chow Xiao continued, don't be in a hurry to refuse me. I have something important to tell you. What is it? Yanran asked coldly. I've already investigated that woman. It's very complicated. I can only explain it to you face to face. Where is it? At the cafe where we met last time. I'll wait for you. What do you want to eat? I'll ask them to order it first. Anything is fine. Yanran put down the phone and quickly changed her clothes. She tidied up her appearance. She didn't realize how fast her movements were. She quickly walked to the door and changed her shoes. Her mother's voice came from behind her. Yanran, where are you going? It's time to eat. Oh no, she forgot to say hello to her mother. Yanran couldn't help but feel annoyed. Did she lose her mind? Oh, my classmate is looking for me. Let's eat outside. Bye. Then she left without looking back. Her mother was still in the kitchen preparing to say something. She opened her mouth, but before she could say anything, the door was closed. Yenran quickly walked to the cafe. When she was about to reach the door, she suddenly slowed down. She looked at her phone. It took her less than 10 minutes to come from home. Was she a bit fast? Thus, Yenran walked to the supermarket next door and strolled around. Then, she walked into the cafe. At this time, 20 minutes had passed, which was just right. At this time, Xiao Xiao was focused on moving the dishes on the table. Because Yenran agreed to eat with him, he was very happy. He ordered all the delicious dishes in the cafe. At this time, more than half of the dishes were served, and the whole table was full. This plate of boiled meat slices is a bit spicy. I guess Yenran doesn't like it, so I'll keep it with me. That plate of veal looked tender. Yenran should like it, so it was left with her. The desserts that young girls like to eat should also be placed in front of Yenran. When Yenran came in, she saw that Xiao Zhao's 2 hands were busy. The little black ball of air above his head was also busy moving around. Originally, the black gas was a filthy existence in Yenran's heart, but at this time, the little black ball was doing all kinds of actions and expressions, which actually made Yenran feel that it was somewhat cute. Xiao Xiao looked up and saw Yenran. He showed her a big smile and asked her to sit down. He first gave her a cup of hot red date wolfberry tea. Today is your special situation. Drink something hot. After saying that, he winked at her. Yenran didn't know how this misunderstanding came about, but she couldn't explain it. However, it just so happened that it was cold outside. Holding the cup of hot tea, she felt very warm. Why did you order so many dishes? I can't finish them. Not much, not much. It's my first time treating you to a meal, so of course it has to be grand. You see, you're not in good spirits today. The little white ball of air above your head is listless. Hurry up and nourish it. You look like there are a lot of dishes, but in fact, there are very few dishes. You see, this plate of veal is finished after 2 chopsticks. I also ordered some dishes that haven't been served yet. It's just that the table is too small to fit them. Yenran looked at Xiao Xiao bustling around and felt a little uncomfortable in her heart. She lowered her head, drank a mouthful of wolfberry tea, and didn't say anything. During this meal, Xiao Xiao served Yenran with all his heart. He kept putting food on her plate, urging her to finish eating. Yenran felt that this meal was the most she had ever eaten. She obviously felt that she was full. Throughout the meal, she listened to Xiao Xiao talk about interesting things. Yenran lowered her head and ate alone, silent. No, I can't eat anymore. You eat more. I see that you only care about putting food on my plate and don't eat much yourself. Yenran finally couldn't help but say. Xiao Xiao smiled with satisfaction. Are you full? Look at how thin you are. Eat more. Finally, after the meal, the waiter cleaned up all the tables. The 2 each served a cup of coffee and began to talk about business. Take a look at this first. Xiao Xiao pushed the entire folder to Yenran. What is this? Xiao Xiao raised his eyebrows and said, This is the full set of information on that woman. Yenran opened the folder and carefully read from the first page. The more she read, the more shocked she became. After reading, her sense of justice exploded. She slammed the folder. How can there be such a scum? Did you notice that this woman's age has always been 32 years old? No information before she was 32 years old can be found. Moreover, no matter which city she goes to in the future, her age registered in the national system has never changed. This is indeed a very strange matter. Didn't you say that people with chi above their heads are the defenders of the world? How can there be such a scum? Xiao Xiao raised his eyebrows and looked at Yenran. Yenran was a little embarrassed. I also asked my grandfather this question. He said that some people's minds and beliefs are not as firm as ours. After they have some special abilities, they are like fish in water in human life. Naturally, they will become greedy and want to obtain things that they originally could not obtain. So there are also bad people among us cultivators. Yenron's head lowered as she spoke. All right. Qiao Xiao suddenly reached over and hooked her chin with his index finger. Don't lower your head anymore. Your face is going to be under the table. Yenran was stunned by his action and stuttered, You, how can you? Yenran touched her chin. She did not know why Qiao Xiao was doing this. Then, Yenran glared at him and said, Don't touch me. Qiao Xiao looked at her and couldn't help but chuckle. It seemed that him making Yenran angry was a very interesting thing. Because the little bun on her head would jump up and down with her emotions, it was very cute. All right, I won't tease you anymore. There are bad people everywhere, this is very normal. But you have to learn a lesson from this matter. Next time, don't say that I'm a bad person all the time. Although there is demonic qi above my head, I'm a very good person. After Qiao Xiao finished speaking, he gave her a naughty wink. Yenran cleared her throat. All right, let's not talk about this first. I also have something to tell you. The bottle of medicine that I brought back last time was checked by my grandfather. It was indeed a bottle of poison. This poison should be a kind of elixir that we cultivators concocted and processed. My grandfather said that many generations ago, this kind of medicine should have disappeared without a trace. I don't know why, but it actually appeared in the world again. Yenran began to explain seriously. What kind of medicine is this? What kind of harm does it do to people? Qiao Xiao could not help but ask curiously. Yenran suddenly felt a little embarrassed. This kind of medicine. I don't know if you have heard of something called goo poison in the southern border. They would use some evil arts and use their own blood to raise the goo. There are all kinds of goo, but the goo refined from this kind of pill in the bottle is used. Yenran felt that she could not continue. What's it for? Don't stutter, just say it. Qiao Xiao was a little anxious. It's used to seduce men and make them fall head over heels for her. Yenran said in one breath. What's so hard to say? You are such a pure little girl. Qiao Xiao could not help but mock her again. You. Yenran glared at him. This kind of thing is similar to the love goo, but it will seduce men all the time. But only with her. Yenran's face was so red that she could not continue. All right, think about it yourself. That's roughly what it means. Oh. Qiao Xiao let out a long and leisurely voice. Then will it harm the man in the end? It should be like what the material said. It will make the man seriously ill, and in the end, he will not be able to treat it and will die. What you mean is, this woman obtained the love goo, then used it to seduce these men, profit from them, and destroy their families. After she succeeds with one target, she will move on to the next, and her age will never change. Are all you cultivators so powerful? How can she avoid the system's identity verification in the human world? This is also what I don't understand. Could it be that someone is helping her to cheat in a certain system? Yenran also felt that this matter was too mysterious. While Yenran was thinking, the little bun on top of her head was also in a cross-legged position, thinking. Qiao Xiao looked very cute and wanted to reach out to touch the cute little bun, but halfway through, he suddenly remembered that he could not touch her. Yenran looked at his actions and her thoughts were interrupted. What are you doing now? I want to touch the stingy bun on your head. She is so cute. Yenran looked up at the top of his head. The little black bun also put on a silly smile, and her heart could not help but soften. Okay, now that the situation is clear, what do you think we should do? Yenran went into the main topic again. I naturally have my own plan. I will not let that woman succeed, but I still need your help. Qiao Xiao suddenly said seriously. Tell me, I will help if I can. I hope you can help me find a way to get the antidote for this thing. Yenran said with some difficulty. I asked my grandfather at that time. He said that the pill made from this kind of goo can only be cured by the person who raised the goo. Outsiders can't cure this kind of goo poison. Even you cultivators can't find the antidote. What should we do? I am worried that even if I find a way to let Uncle Lu see the truth of this woman, he will still be unable to extricate himself. Wouldn't all of our efforts be in vain? My grandfather also said that if we can find a way to get this woman's blood and let Uncle Lu drink it, there might be some effect. But my grandfather said that this is only a possibility. He doesn't know how to cure this goo, but there are similar descriptions in ancient books. Chapter 21. The two of them chatted for a long time, but they still felt that it was very difficult. The process of the matter had been analyzed more clearly, but the solution still needed to be discussed. In the end, the two of them discussed and decided to carry out Xiao Zhao's plan. They would let Lu Hui's father see the nature of this woman first, then let Yan Ran take action and detain this woman. They would first have to physically isolate the two of them to see if it would work. According to Yan Ran, it was impossible to avoid meeting for a long time with the love goo. As the one who had been poisoned, he would definitely be scratching his heart and liver, and would do everything in his power to find his lover. Xiao Xiao suddenly said to Yan Ran, "Keep this medicine well. If you see someone you like one day, give him a sip and let him be poisoned by the goo. Won't you wake up laughing in your dreams? This is poison. Young master, do you want to end up like the others and die without treatment? That depends on who it is. If it's really someone I like, I'm willing to do it." Suddenly, the two of them felt a little awkward, as if the topic had been diverted. Just like that, through a conversation over dinner, Yan Ran temporarily put aside the worries in her heart and settled the matter in front of her first. Xiao Xiao directly went to look for Lu Hui. When Lu Hui heard what Xiao Xiao said to him, he was about to go crazy. He was so angry that his eyes turned red. How can there be such scum in this world? Why did he purposely come to our house? You've almost ruined our family. We must avenge you. Brother Hui, don't worry. Since I've already helped you find out, we'll definitely find a way to solve it. The most important thing now is to let your father see this woman clearly. Didn't you say that if he was poisoned by the goo, it would be equivalent to losing his mind? How can we let him see the nature of this woman clearly? Yan Ran told me a method, which is to find a way to get this woman's blood first, then let your father drink it and see if it's effective. This is a little difficult. Lu Hui frowned. I have an idea. Do you think it'll work? For the next few weeks, Xiao Xiao didn't return home after school. He appeared near Lu Haotian's villa, fully armed and wrapped up like a dumpling. There was a supermarket not far from the villa. The supermarket had a glass wall that allowed one to see the outside. Xiao Xiao was sitting behind the glass, drinking a drink and watching the people and cars coming and going. After a few weeks of observation, he found that Lu Hui's father was not at home during the day and rarely came home for dinner. As for that Aunt Chi, she was very busy every day. Usually, it would be dinner time before the chauffeur would drive her home. On weekends, Lu Haotian was usually at home. If he had to go out, he would go out with Aunt Chi. Auntie Chi was always sent in and out by a chauffeur. It was rare to see her go out alone. Xiao Xiao shared the results of his observation with Lu Hui. The two of them were troubled. How could they lure her out when she was not alone? Just when they were at their wits' end, Yan Ran called. She had asked her father to go to Shenzhen and investigate some things. Finally, they could carry out their plan. On this day, Auntie Chi received a letter from a servant. It was not delivered by express delivery. It was directly stuffed in through the crack of the door of her villa. It was written on the letter, "Please open it." When she opened it, there was only a photo inside. When she saw the photo, her hand trembled and the photo fell to the ground. The servant was about to help her pick it up, but she immediately scolded, "You don't need to pick it up. You can leave first." Then she bent down and picked up the photo. In the photo, she was youthful and beautiful, staring affectionately at an outstanding man next to her. That was her first man. Although she accepted her master's arrangement to do such an evil thing, it was her first man. She had indeed invested her feelings into him. Her first man was her first goal in Shen City. This man was affectionate, wise, and extremely good to her. At that time, the man's wife had been paralyzed in bed for many years. In order to fulfill his duty, he had been taking care of her until he met her, Mai Chi. This man ushered in the second spring of his life. He was so good to her. He brought all the beautiful things in the world to her. The most precious thing was that he gave her all his sincerity. She felt as if she had been spoiled to the heavens. In those limited days together, every day was like the new year. Since she was young, no one had taken care of her so meticulously. No one would rack their brains just for a smile. In the beginning, she did not use the medicine that her master had given her. She knew that the medicine had side effects, but this man seemed to be even more poisonous than the love spell. He was extremely attached to her. Day and night, this man had taught her everything. Until one day, her master found that she did not act according to the original plan. He could not help but be furious. He directly fed the man an entire pill. After that, this man became even more attached to her. However, his eyes lacked the original sincerity. According to her master's plan, after taking away his property, her master immediately threw her a second target. She told him that he needed to leave quickly. In 2 years, he would die of a serious illness. When she heard this news, it was like a bolt from the blue. Was the first man that she, Mai Chi, fell in love with going to be killed by her own hands? She tried to resist her master. However, she did not expect to be treated cruelly like before. From then on, she knew that she was only her master's tool. A tool to kill. Love or whatever, she would never be able to dream of it in this lifetime. She left Shen City. After that, she did not dare to ask for any information about this man. Instead, she threw herself into one mission after another. Her thoughts were pulled back from the photo. It was obvious that the photo had been washed. There was nothing in the letter other than the photo. There was only a line of words written on the back of the photo. 7 o'clock in the evening, in the ghost forest outside the city. Your first man wants to see you. Isn't he dead? Mai Chi was shocked. Did my master lie to me? She did not dare to believe it. At that time, her master had sent her the last photo of him in the hospital bed. She had also seen the video that was sent to the morgue. That night, she drank until she was dead drunk and cried her heart out. It was because of this that she decided to bury her love and turn to her second target. This letter was strange. Should she go or not? Should she ask her master first? It was better not to. If her master knew that she still had feelings for him, she would be punished again. Lu Haotian had a social engagement at night. He would not be back so early. The ghost forest was very close to here. With her skills, she should not be in any danger. After thinking about it, Mai Chi decided to check it out tonight. The ghost forest was indeed worthy of its reputation. The sky had just turned completely dark, but the ghost forest was full of ghosts. Mai Chi entered the ghost forest alone and saw a man standing in front of her. She could tell at a glance that he was a young man. He was not the person she wanted to see. This was a trap. Mai Chi was not afraid. She walked forward and asked, "Where is he?" The young man standing in the dark wore a black hoodie. At this time, his whole body was wrapped tightly. "He wanted me to pass a message to you. Isn't it enough that you hurt him? Do you want to continue hurting others?" Mai Chi suddenly became excited. "You mean he is still alive?" The young man was stunned. He did not expect Mai Chi to be concerned about this. He had an idea and replied, "Of course he is not dead. He is waiting for you to save him." "How is that possible? Why would he wait for me to save him? The medicine you gave him made him wish he was dead. Now only your blood can save him. Don't you know that? Where is he now? Take me to him." "He doesn't want to see you. He has been in a vegetative state for many years. The doctor said that the poison in his body can only be cured by the original person who poisoned him. If you still want to save him, give me a bottle of your blood." Mai Chi was skeptical. "What evidence do you have? How did you find me?" The young man threw a picture to Mai Chi. It was a picture of a man lying on a hospital bed. His face was deep and handsome. It was the man Mai Chi would never forget. At this time, There were tubes all over his body. His eyes were closed, and he seemed to have fallen into a deep sleep. This man was indeed Mai Chi's first man. When Detective Wang helped them collect evidence, there was a picture of him before he passed away. Mai Chi looked at this face and felt a lump in her throat. She could not help but reach out to touch him. "Are you saying that he can still be saved?" The doctor said that as long as we find the person who poisoned him and get her blood, he might wake up. As for whether to save him or not, it's all up to you. Who are you? I'm his nephew. I spent a lot of effort to find you. Originally, I wanted to cut you into pieces, but if you are willing to save him, I can spare your life. Are you sure that my blood can really save him? The doctor said that this is the last resort. If your blood is useless, then we can only meet in the next life. The words, meet in the next life, struck Mai Chi's heart. She had already experienced a life and death separation with him. She also knew that it was impossible for her to have anything to do with him now. However, if she could use her blood to make up for the sins she had committed in the past, would her conscience feel better? Okay, I will give you some blood. If he really recovers, please let me know. Mai Chi closed her eyes. Then, the young man took out a small bottle and a small knife. Do you need me to help you? No, I can do it myself. Mai Chi pulled up the clothes on her arm, revealing her smooth and clean forearm. Without blinking, she cut a wound on it. Blood instantly flowed along the cut and into the bottle. The air was filled with the smell of rust. Blood flowed down like silk threads. Soon, the small bottle was filled. Mai Chi took out a napkin and pressed on her wound. She screwed the cap back on and handed it to the young man. Please take good care of him. Chapter 22. After everything was done, Mai Chi returned to the villa. She sat on the sofa and couldn't calm down for a long time. She couldn't care less about the wound on her arm. Blood had already seeped out of the napkin that she had pressed on. The servant was shocked when she saw it and hurriedly brought the first aid kit to bandage her wound. Mai Chi was in a daze. Her eyes were dull as she let the servant bandage her without saying a word. The person in the woods just now was Xiao Xiao. He successfully got Mai Chi's blood in disguise. Yen Ran and Lu Hui, who were watching from the side, were overjoyed. I didn't expect you to be so talented in acting. Yen Ran wasn't stingy with her praise. When Xiao Xiao heard Yen Ran praise him for the first time, the little black bun on his head jumped up and down non-stop. However, he said proudly, your brother Xiao, I know a lot of things. You'll slowly discover my strengths in the future. When Lu Hui saw Mai Chi just now, he almost couldn't resist the urge to go up and beat her to death. However, he didn't know what Yen Ran did to freeze him there. He couldn't move or speak. He could only glare fiercely at the woman who had harmed his family. The first step of the plan had been achieved. The second step depended on Lu Hui. When Lu Hui got home, he kept thinking about how to make his father drink the blood willingly. His father definitely wouldn't drink the blood directly. He had to think of a way. The next morning, he asked for a leave of absence from school. He told his mother that he was going to learn how to cook a few dishes and send them to his father at noon. His mother still felt very uncomfortable. She didn't know if her son's behavior was good or bad. However, she couldn't persuade Lu Hui. Lu Hui said that he would only cook 3 dishes, 2 dishes and 1 soup. Then, he started to work in the kitchen. He let his mother teach him from the side and learned very seriously. After he finished cooking the 3 dishes, he really did look good. In fact, it was very simple. He picked a green pepper fried chicken offal, a duck blood stewed with tofu, and a corn pork rib soup. After he finished cooking all the dishes, he secretly poured Mai Chi's blood into the duck blood stewed with tofu. He purposely picked the duck blood and put some chili in it, hoping to cover up the smell of the blood. Then, he packed it in a lunchbox and went straight to his father's company. When they arrived at the lobby of the Lu's group, the receptionist was surprised to see the young master personally delivering food. She quickly brought the young master to the chairman's office. Dad, I'm here to see you. When Lu Haotian saw his son, he immediately beamed with joy. He liked his son very much. He had been outstanding in all aspects since he was young. He had never troubled him. Now, he was also in university. Although he was infatuated with my Chi, he only had one son. Little Hui, you're so free today. Why didn't you go to school? Dad, I haven't had a meal with you in a long time. I recently signed up for a cooking class in school and have just learned how to cook. Look, I made a few dishes today. I brought them for you to try and see how your son's cooking skills are. Oh, not bad. Little Hui, you actually know how to cook. Did your mother make them? Lu Haotian asked in surprise. I really didn't. I made all of them myself. I've been busy all morning. I just wanted to bring them to try with Dad. Lu Hui said sincerely. In fact, from the bottom of his heart, he still liked his father very much. He had worshipped him since he was young. He was a hero in his heart. If it wasn't for my Chi, the third party, their family would be so happy. Lu Haotian was very touched. This was the first time his son had cooked for him. Okay, I'll try little Huey's cooking. How is it? Dad, I'll say it first. If it's not good, you have to eat it. Don't hit me too hard. Next time, I won't have the confidence to cook. Lu Hui pretended to be spoiled. Lu Haotian couldn't help but laugh. Son, you're already so old. Can't you take a blow? I'll still say what I need to say, but don't worry. Even if it's not good, I'll finish it. However, I believe that my son has a strong learning ability. He won't make it hard for me to swallow. The father and son put the dishes on the coffee table and sat on the sofa to eat. Before sending it over, Lu Hui had tasted it himself. The duck blood with my Chi's blood was a little fishy, but it was still edible. If he didn't remind him, he wouldn't be able to taste it. He watched as his father ate the dishes he cooked, one bite at a time. Soon, the dishes he brought were all gone, and the duck blood was also eaten. At this moment, the stone in his heart was finally lifted. His father drank the last mouthful of soup and said to Lu Hui, Son, this dish is really good. Look, I've already finished it. The best dish you made is probably this soup. It's very nutritious and light. It's suitable for your father to nourish his body. As his father spoke, he suddenly frowned. He felt that something was wrong. Lu Hui saw this and was a little nervous. Dad, what's wrong? I feel a little nauseous. I don't know if it's because I ate too much duck blood. As soon as he said this, his father seemed to be getting more and more uncomfortable. Something's wrong. I feel uncomfortable all over. Lu Hui was frightened. Dad, what's wrong with you? Are you okay? His father kept hugging his stomach and rolling around on the sofa. In the end, he fainted with a spasm. Lu Hui was scared to death. He knew that it must be my Chi's blood. Could it be that this blood had no effect on him at all? Instead, it was a kind of poison? He quickly called his secretary and asked him to arrange a car to send his father to the hospital. The secretary was also shocked. He quickly called the most famous specialist in the hospital for a consultation. Lu Hui was in a dilemma. Should he tell the doctor the truth? He called Xiao Xiao and told him that his father was sent to the hospital after drinking the blood. Xiao Xiao was also shocked. He said, Don't worry. I'll ask Yanran. After hearing this, Yanran pursed her lips. She couldn't think of a way. She comforted Xiao Xiao and Lu Hui. Don't worry. I'll get someone to take a look. This matter blew up in Yanran's house. The blood of the goo cultivator might be able to cure someone who was infected with the goo. However, the specific treatment method was only mentioned in ancient books. No one had tried it before. Yanran's father immediately went to the hospital to take over Lu Hui's identity as his family. At this time, Lu Haotian was still in a coma. However, the restlessness in his body had obviously lessened a lot. The doctor said that it was a kind of coma for unknown reasons. It was because it was caused by eating. It could be that the food was counteracting, but it didn't affect his life. Lu Hui finally breathed a sigh of relief. They still didn't say that my Qi's blood was put in the food because this matter was too shocking. After Yenran's father learned about the cause and effect of the matter, he decided to take over this matter. He would represent the cultivation world and bring my Qi to justice. Lu Hui was most worried about whether his father would look for my Qi everywhere after waking up. He had seen the domineering power of this gu. In the past 6 months, his father didn't have any other woman in his eyes except for my Qi. Yenran told me that we can only do physical isolation now. We'll first find a way to capture my Qi so that she can't meet your father. Then, you guys can slowly explain the truth of the matter to him. If the gu has been cured, then he will definitely wake up. However, if the gu hasn't been cured completely, then at least not letting them meet can minimize the damage. When my Qi is captured, we'll think of other ways to get the antidote of the gu from her. After 2 days, there was news that my Qi was arrested and imprisoned. She was accused of collaborating with others to hack into the national system and tamper with identity information. The National XX Bureau directly took her away. This move was really ruthless. Generally speaking, this kind of crime that could endanger national security would be imprisoned in an unknown place and no one would be able to find her. Lu Hui was finally relieved. At this time, he was waiting for his father to wake up. Today was the 10th day that Lu Haotian was in a coma in the hospital. Lu Hui didn't go to school. He had been taking leave to accompany his father by his bed. In these 10 days, he didn't ask for help from a nurse. Everything was taken care of by himself. This was the father he used to worship the most. At this time, lying in bed weakly and unconscious, the uneasiness in his heart slowly expanded. This was his family's big tree. Although he was an adult, he didn't want his father to leave them so early. As the days passed, his father showed no signs of waking up. This made his heart sink little by little. The doctor's diagnosis was that his life was not in danger, but they didn't know when he would wake up. His family's stock began to fall the day after the chairman was hospitalized because of the coma. A few of his father's old comrades had been busy with the company's matters. As a son, he couldn't help much now. He could only pray in the hospital that his father would wake up soon. Early in the morning, Lu Hui sat up in bed as usual. He was now familiar with the smell of the hospital's disinfectant. He turned around and thought that his father would still be lying in a coma. Unexpectedly, when he turned around, he saw his father's fingers moving. His heart soared. He quickly rushed to the bed and asked, "Dad, are you awake?" After Lu Haotian's fingers moved, he began to frown and move his lips. In the end, he struggled to open his eyes. Then, he quickly closed his eyelids. They were heavy as lead. Lu Hui was so excited that tears filled his eyes. He rushed into the doctor's office and shouted, "Doctor, my father is awake." After a series of examinations, Lu Haotian was normal. He could be discharged and go home soon. Lu Hui was surprised to find that his father didn't mention my Qi even once. He didn't ask about her, nor did he think of her. It was as if this person had never appeared in his life. When he was discharged, he directly said to Lu Hui, "Ask your mother to make 2 delicious food for me. I'm starving." Lu Hui looked at the white hair on his father's temples. His father's casual tone made him know that his father was back. Tears instantly came out of his eyes. Chapter 23. Qiao Xiao was finally relieved. His good friend's life was back on track. And this time, Yenran couldn't help but look at Qiao Xiao in a new light. She didn't expect this person to be so loyal to his brother. She stared at the little black bun on top of Qiao Xiao's head. It was as flamboyant and narcissistic as his personality. Yenran suddenly felt that this was good. She hoped it wouldn't turn out like what her grandfather predicted. "Hey, come back to your senses. What are you thinking about? You've been staring at me. Have you finally realized that I'm handsome?" Qiao Zhao's ruffian voice sounded in Yenran's ear. Yenran suddenly came back to her senses. She found that she had been staring at him for a long time. She couldn't help but feel embarrassed. She coughed and lightly said, "I was thinking about something." What did you just say? Zhang Deong asked you if today's sweet and sour ribs were delicious? Qiao Xiao rolled his eyes and impatiently repeated. That's it. It's okay. Yanran replied absent-mindedly. Brother Qiao, I didn't ask her. I asked you. Zhang Deong scratched his head. What an honest guy. Ma Xiaoxian quickly followed up. No matter how delicious the ribs are, there's no need to discuss it. Everyone should think about what to do on New Year's Day. Are we going on a trip on New Year's Day? Zhang Deong said expectantly. Wake up. It's high school now. There are only 2 trips in spring and autumn. The rest of the time is dedicated to your wonderful school activities. Ma Xiaoxian added. How exciting is it? Yanran was also a little interested. I heard from my seniors that every year on New Year's Day, it's an unprecedented grand occasion for the school. All the handsome guys and pretty girls in the school will gather at a certain time on a very colorful stage to celebrate New Year's Day. There will be stage plays, all kinds of skits, crosstalk, and wonderful talk shows. Wow, will they invite celebrities? The scene must be very lively. Little sweet girl Juchi also joined their discussion. There will definitely be celebrities, and they will be celebrities that you all know. The loudspeaker Ma Xiaoxian continued to whet everyone's appetite. Really? Would the school be willing to spend so much money? He's going to break my old impression of the principal. I'm going to worship such a trendy principal. Juchi was extremely excited when she imagined the scene. That's impossible. How could the school do that? Yanran was relatively rational. Ma Xiaoxian saw that he was almost done bragging. The more he thought about it, the more amused he felt. He couldn't help but hold his stomach and lean back in his seat. You guys really believe this? Qiao Xiao looked at Ma Xiaoxian, who was entertaining himself, and couldn't help but say, Do you mean that we have to perform all these shows ourselves? Ma Xiaoxian rushed to Qiao Zhao's table and gave him a thumbs up. You know the truth. Juchi wasn't happy. Then what do you mean by celebrities just now? Celebrities are referring to. Ma Xiaoxian raised his index finger and twirled it in the air, then quickly pointed at Qiao Xiao. Our school hunk. With Brother Qiao's fame in the school, isn't he our big star? Zhang Deong leaned on the table and said lifelessly, So that's what you're talking about. Every class has to perform at the New Year's Day party. We have to brace ourselves and arrange a traditional and formal show. How is that exciting? Ma Xiaoxian disagreed. I think you're wrong. That's because our class didn't have Brother Qiao before. Now that we have a celebrity in our class, do we still have to worry about our show? Juchi immediately agreed. Yes. Our show will not only be full of novelty, but it will also win first place in one fell swoop. Qiao Xiao heard them and finally knew what they were planning. Don't worry, your Brother Qiao won't screw up. I have all kinds of talents. It just depends on how you arrange it. His confident and arrogant words made everyone feel confident. Sure enough, after class, Miss Zhu announced that everyone should actively participate in the New Year's Day party. Every class had to perform a show, and there would be a selection between the grades. She hoped that Class 1 to 3 would win first place in one fell swoop. Miss Zhu also specifically called out Qiao Zhao's name in class. Qiao Xiao is good at singing and dancing. He will definitely be the main force of this show. Everyone can arrange a very good show with him. I want it to be positive and show the elegance of high school students. I look forward to your performance. Qiao Xiao didn't care. He especially liked this kind of occasion. It could increase his popularity even more. Yanran will be the director of this show. The actors and scriptwriters will be appointed by Yanran. Everyone has to actively cooperate with her. Yanran touched her nose, stood up silently, and said, Okay, teacher. After school, Yanran asked Qiao Xiao, Zhang Deong, Juchi, and Ma Xiaoxian to stay. They were about to discuss the show when Qiao Xiao leaned lazily on his seat. Suddenly, a pleasant voice sounded from the door. Excuse me, is Qiao Xiao here? Everyone looked up and their eyes lit up. They saw a girl who looked incomparably pure standing at the door of the classroom. She had the face of an angel. She wore a white t-shirt and a black short skirt, which set off her devilish figure. She looked like a snow lotus from Mount Tian Shan that had floated down to the human world. Xiao Xiao couldn't help but whistle. He walked up to her and said, "Beautiful, are you looking for me?" The girl's eyes lit up as if they were filled with stars. She leaned forward slightly and turned her perfect oval face in Xiao Xiao's direction. The corners of her eyes were slightly raised. She clenched her fists and looked at Xiao Xiao with admiration. "Hello, I'm Li Shan. I just transferred here. I'm in grade 1, 4. I saw a lot of your deeds on Tieba. I really admire you. Can you add me on WeChat?" After saying that, she lowered her head slightly, a little shy. "Of course. I've always answered all the requests of beautiful women." Xiao Xiao had never rejected adding someone on WeChat. Li Shan then pretended to be careful. She blinked her big eyes and said, "I really like street dancing. Can you give me some pointers when you have time?" Xiao Xiao was actually a little surprised when he heard that. However, he was very happy that this beautiful woman was a kindred spirit. Therefore, he smiled and said, "It's my pleasure to serve you, beautiful woman. Then let's keep in touch on WeChat. Here's a drawing I made for you. I'll take my leave first." After saying that, Li Shan smiled brightly. Her long hair swayed, and a delicate fragrance brushed past Xiao Xiao's nose and drifted away. "So that's Li Shan, Zhang Dayang's eyes followed the dancing butterfly figure into the distance. He didn't even blink once. Juchi took a book and waved it in front of Zhang Dayang's eyes, but it didn't wake him up at all. Zhang Dayang pushed aside the book in front of him with one hand, stood up and chased out of the door. "Zhang Dayang, where are you going?" Jia Qi yelled behind him. Zhang Dayang stopped. "Goddess. This is the first time I've seen the goddess of my heart. She really looks exactly like the one in the photo. She's so beautiful. My soul is about to be stolen by her." When Xiao Xiao heard Zhang Dayang's words, he hooked his arm around his shoulder and pulled him into the classroom with a smile. "I think she's okay, but you don't have to be so exaggerated. Brother Xiao, you don't know this feeling. At that time, your peerless appearance had already stunned me. You were my Prince Charming. In the end, I didn't expect that in our small campus, there would actually be a goddess whose beauty is on par with yours. It's really unbelievable." This girl's innocence had a seductive charm, and her tone was gentle and seductive. No man could resist her. "She's just too perfect." Zhang Dayang's words completely resonated with the hearts of everyone in the classroom. Yanran couldn't help but frown. She was just too perfect. Is this girl the goddess on the Tieba? Ma Xiaoxian also came back to his senses and asked excitedly. Last night, the Tieba exploded. It was a photo of a girl who was almost hit by a basketball. A basketball flew towards the girl and brushed past her shoulder. The girl was frightened by the flying basketball and dodged to the side. A perfect side profile was frozen in the photo frame. Perfect face, delicate little face, slender waist, and wronged expression. It made all the boys want to hug her and comfort her. There were countless comments below. "Gluten that loves to eat dumplings. This face is on par with Brother Qiao. They're called Nanchuan's twin jade annulus. Waves with you. Soft with tenderness, charming with charm. She's the killer of all the boys. Zhou Qi, who threw the basketball. Take him away and castrate him. He doesn't know how to be gentle with girls. Look at how he scared the girl. Sand eagle crossing the river. Just give me a chance. I'll do it. Big frog at the bottom of the pit. I'll lend you my shoulder. I'm only missing a pair of sneakers. Let me be your eternal support." In just one night, the girl's information was dug up. She was a new student from year 1, 4, who transferred from another province. Her name was Li Shan. Then, some students got their hands on a few more photos of her. They were all dressed in white and black, but the simpler the color, the purer it was. Her whole face was clear and tender, and not a single pore could be seen. Her skin was so good that it was about to explode. One of the photos seemed to be of her doing a street dance. She was wearing a black denim jacket with a white corset inside. She was wearing a black baseball cap and was doing a frozen motion with one knee lowered. Her legs were wide apart, and her knee was slightly bent. One of her knees was quickly approaching the ground. Her right hand was raised at a 45-degree angle, the tip of her index finger facing the sky, and her left arm was bent in front of her chest. Her head was lowered and slightly tilted to the right. A few strands of her long hair floated around her mouth. That slender white waist, tight and smooth, made people feel like they were about to explode. After a night and a day of settling down, a flower was planted in all the boys' hearts. And now, this flower had taken the initiative to come to Qiao Xiao. At the same time, she gave him a painting she had drawn. "Brother Qiao, what did she give you just now? Can you show it to us?" She said she drew a painting herself. "You can take a look if you want." Wow, the goddess drew her own painting. Qiao Xiao casually flipped through the painting. He had thought that it would be colorful and gaudy. He opened it and took a look. It was a little interesting. It was completely different from what Qiao Xiao had imagined. The whole painting was light and elegant, and there was only black and white. There were more than a dozen little people drawn with dots and lines. They were surrounding a stage, and a little person stood in the middle of the stage. His movements were exaggerated, and he was doing a street dance pose. A group of people also surrounded him, waving their hands and cheering for him. A little further away from this group of people, there was a girl who was looking at the stage from afar. There was a shadow under the feet of each little person, and the whole picture was vivid and three-dimensional. At the bottom right corner, there was a small line of words, "For Qiao Xiao, your fan Li Shan, Chapter 24. Wow! Brother Qiao, she's your fan. She's actually your fan. Ma Xiaoxian couldn't help but exclaim. Qiao Zhao's vanity was greatly satisfied. "Look. This is the charm of your brother Qiao. This painting is not bad." After saying that, he smiled and was about to put the painting away. At this time, a hand suddenly reached over and took the painting. It was Yanran. Yanran looked at it and frowned even more. This person is really attentive. Qiao Xiao went to Yanran's side. "How is it? Did you see it? Your brother Qiao's handsomeness is well known. This girl knows me very well. Understanding, attentive, perfect." These words hovered in Yanran's mind. "Well, is there anything else to talk about? There might be a beauty asking me out in a while." Qiao Xiao said proudly. "Brother Qiao, I really envy you." Zhang Deong looked at Qiao Xiao with envious eyes. "That's Brother Qiao's ability. What are you envious of? You can't be envious. Goddesses and Prince Charming should be looked up to." Juchi poured cold water on Zhang Deong. Okay. Let's think about what to do on New Year's Day." Yanran pulled everyone's topic back. "Since Brother Qiao can dance so well, I don't think we should waste it. Let's have him do a street dance." Ma Xiaoxian said, "The rest of us are willing to be the green leaves and let Brother Qiao be the red flower. But just a street dance is too short and not enough content." Yanran was not optimistic about just dancing. "If you want to have content, it must be a story. A skit is best." Yes. "Let's arrange a drama." Juchi nodded. "How about we arrange a drama about how to prepare for the New Year's Day program?" Zhang Deong suddenly had a brainstorm. "How do we arrange this? Should we just act out our daily rehearsal routine? Isn't it a little too boring? Every class is the same." Qiao Xiao felt that this was not very creative. "I think it's pretty good." Yanran said, "We can act out the difficulty of this show. Other than Brother Qiao, the other 6 did not know how to jump. Let's talk about how hard we worked to learn street dance and what difficulties we encountered. How was he going to overcome it? When it's time for the official performance, we'll shine on stage." As long as we perform this story well, I think it should be pretty good. That sounds interesting. Chow Chow couldn't help but nod. That would require a good script. I don't think I've seen any show that did that before. The others nodded in agreement. Then it's decided. Since everyone agrees that we should try a new style of performance, the New Year's Eve party will feature Chow Zhao's street dance. Then, we will choose a few backup dancers to perform a scene. I can already imagine it. As long as we perform well, it will definitely be a hit. This scene must be designed with ups and downs and conflicts to look good. After the theme was decided, it was easy to arrange the rest. Yenran decided on everyone's division of labor. Yenran was in charge of writing the script. Chow Xiao was in charge of the stage lead. Zhang Deong, Ma Xiaoxian, and 4 other classmates were chosen from the class to be backup dancers and perform the scene together. Juqi was naturally the cameraman. The costumes and props were handed over to Wenjing. Just like that, the prototype of the New Year's show was decided. There was still half a month before the New Year's Eve performance. Yenran finished writing the script on the same night. After passing it on to a few actors who needed to perform, everyone was very satisfied. Just like that, the show started to prepare. However, Chow Xiao was very busy these few days. He was nowhere to be seen in the afternoon. Yenran wanted to make him rehearse, but he always said that he was busy. You don't have to worry about my part. I can dance it without rehearsing. You guys should rehearse your scene first. I still have something to do today, so I'll leave first. Wait a minute. Yenran called after him, but she couldn't stop him. These 2 days, Yenran was the chief director. She had to arrange all aspects of the show's rehearsals. The 6 students who acted in the scene had no stage experience. They had to learn from the beginning. They could only follow the script and learn the details bit by bit. Just like that, Yenran and Chow Xiao were busy with their own things. No one knew what the other was doing. The training of street dance was indeed very difficult. The 6 actors followed the video for half a day, but they still didn't know how to do it. Although the scene they acted in before didn't require them to dance well. But in the most basic training, they still had to have a certain level of performance. Moreover, how could the main lead, Chow Xiao, be missing from the script? Director, this won't do. We've been here for half a day. We don't know how Chow Xiao will cooperate with us. If he doesn't come to rehearse, this show can't be performed. Yenran was also very angry. I'll find a way to get him back today. I'll definitely rehearse with everyone tomorrow. Yenran kept calling Chow Xiao, but Chow Xiao's phone couldn't be reached. Do you guys know where Chow Xiao has been recently? Has anyone seen him? Yenran asked Chow Xiao in the class group. I've seen Chow Xiao in the gymnasium for the past few days. After receiving the news, Yenran rushed to the gymnasium. It had been a long time since school ended. When Yenran ran to the gymnasium, she found it surrounded by a lot of people. The music was deafening. Before she walked in, she could hear the passionate music. After she walked in, she found a few people dancing in the middle. There was a circle around them, and they were all clapping and cheering for them. The one who danced the most happily was Chow Xiao. Yenran gritted her teeth in anger. He didn't even participate in the class's rehearsal. Instead, he danced here with others. She stood in the middle of the crowd and shouted at Chow Xiao 3 times. However, the music was too loud. Chow Xiao seemed to have heard Yenran's shout. He glanced at her, waved his hand, and said hello. Then, he threw himself into an even crazier dance. At this time, Yenran saw that the person opposite Chow Xiao was actually Li Shan. Today, she was wearing a white t-shirt and black turnip pants. Because the t-shirt was loose enough, Li Shan tied a corner of the bottom of the t-shirt, revealing her small waist. Her white waist was very sexy. It was already covered with sparkling sweat. Under the light of the gymnasium, it was shining. At this time, she was also dancing crazily on the stage. Her small waist was so soft that it was as if there were no bones. The surrounding students screamed crazily. Yenran had no choice but to watch them dance on the stage coldly and wait for them to finish the song. At this time, Li Shan suddenly threw her hat into the sky. Her long hair swung violently, and all the strands of hair floated to Qiao Zhao's face. At this time, Qiao Zhao suddenly reached out and held the strand of hair. He closed his eyes and put it to the tip of his nose. He took a deep breath and slowly swept it across the corner of his lips. Then, he suddenly raised his right hand to the sky. It was very ostentatious to match the rhythm of the music. This action attracted all the people below to scream. At this time, Yenran saw the black smoke on Qiao Zhao's head rush up. It was as if the black hair had magic. Then, Qiao Zhao's eyes became a little red. Then, his body twisted even more violently, and he began to do some more difficult moves. The more Yenran looked, the more she felt that something was wrong. She walked to the sound system and turned off the music. The music stopped abruptly, and the whole place quieted down. Everyone turned to look at Yenran. Many people asked her what happened. Why did she stop the music? Yenran walked toward Qiao Zhao and Li Shan with a cold face. Wow, it's the ice beauty Yenran. What is she doing here? Is she here to pick a fight? Look at how aggressive she is. Why is a girl so fierce? Li Shan is the best. There were a lot of whispers around, but Yenran did not care at all. At this time, Qiao Zhao sat on the ground very awkwardly because the music suddenly stopped. He had not finished a move. Li Shan quickly rushed to Qiao Zhao and tried to help him up. Her hair faintly swept across Qiao Zhao's cheek. Qiao Zhao was very annoyed at this time. He shouted at Yenran, "What are you doing? Why did you turn off the music? What you are doing now is too dangerous. And the class is rehearsing a New Year's Day program. Why don't you participate? The classmates are very dissatisfied with you. Are you dissatisfied with me? Or are you dissatisfied with me? I am dissatisfied with you. Now, please come back with me to rehearse the program." "I don't need to rehearse the program. Am I not here to rehearse the program? Are you going back with me or not?" The two of them were about to quarrel. "This student, are you Yenran? I have heard of you. You are the first in the grade." A gentle voice sounded. It was Li Shan. This is my fault. Brother Qiao is here to teach me dance. Because our class also needs to rehearse the program, I can't embarrass our class. So, I asked Brother Qiao to spare some time to teach me a few moves. I didn't expect to cause so much inconvenience. I am so sorry. Li Shan was so gentle. Shan, you don't have to care about her. She's just a tigress. She has a cold face all day long, as if everyone owes her something. Young Master Qiao Zhao's temper flared up, and his words were ruthless. Yenran looked at this scene, especially at Li Shan's pitiful face. She felt disgusted. She did not waste any more time. She cast a spell and tied up the little black bun on Qiao Zhao's head. Then, she pulled him out of the gymnasium. Qiao Zhao staggered as she was pulled. She thought angrily, "This trick again." However, he had no choice but to say to Li Shan, "Let's meet another day. I have to go now." He picked up his bag and left with Yenran. Li Shan was stunned. This was not supposed to be the ending. She had apologized to Qiao Zhao, but Qiao Zhao should not have left with her. What was going on? Things seemed to have gotten out of her control. She looked at Qiao Zhao and the figure behind Yenran. She bit her lip and said to the audience, "Students, let's call it a day. When Brother Qiao is free, I will invite you all to come and play again." The surrounding students liked Li Shan very much. Soon, someone posted what happened at the gymnasium on Tieba, and the comments were all about Yenran. Chapter 25. A fight was inevitable. Yenran tied Qiao Zhao up and walked to a secluded corner of the campus. "Tell me, what's wrong with you?" Yenran looked at him and said coldly. "What do you mean what's wrong with me? You were the one who tied me up. Qiao Zhao's tone was still very angry. Didn't you feel it? Your demonic aura suddenly increased a lot, and your whole body became very strong. You're in a bad state. Isn't it normal for demonic aura to increase? You disrupted my normal life. It's natural for me to be angry. Your demonic aura when you're angry is different from just now. Your demonic aura just now is a kind of evil aura, the kind that can hurt people. Qiao Xiao couldn't help but laugh. My demonic aura is divided into many kinds? Why can't you tell right from wrong before, but now you're so clear about it? I've always been clear about it. I didn't do anything to you before because your demonic aura wasn't that evil aura. But now you can't control yourself, so you'll become evil. Did you see me hurt people? I didn't even fight this time, and you're already causing trouble for me. Are you deliberately looking for trouble? Qiao Xiao couldn't help but feel a little crazy. Anyway, I said, please return to normal immediately. The class's New Year's Day rehearsal can't be done if you don't participate. I want you to participate in the class rehearsal immediately. Yanran said righteously. Okay, it's just a rehearsal. I'll rehearse with you starting tomorrow. Is this okay? I can go now, right? You're both girls. Why is there such a big difference? Look at Sean, she's gentle and cute. Look at you. Other than teaching people all day long, what else can you do with your cold face? Wait, don't rush to leave. This is also what I want to ask you. Yanran blocked Qiao Zhao's way. What's wrong now? Is there something wrong with this Li Shan, What's wrong? She's the most perfect woman I've ever seen, and she admires me a lot. Let me tell you. Qiao Xiao suddenly leaned close to Yanran and sniffed her hair. What are you doing? Yanran was made to take a step back by him. Qiao Xiao narrowed his eyes and said, Shauner's hair smells much better than yours. Just smelling it makes me want to get close to her. Finally, he made a shooting pose with both hands. His target was Yanran. Then, he raised the muzzle to the sky and whistled, Bye-bye. Yanran froze on the spot. She couldn't tell what she was feeling, but this feeling made her very uncomfortable. Her heart felt a little sour, a little painful, and a little stuffy. When she got home, she took a quick shower and blow-dried her hair. Then she put her hair under her nose and sniffed it. A burst of fragrance hit her. The shampoo smelled very good. This was a lavender shampoo that she had specially picked online. Then, she opened Tieba. She wanted to find out who this Li Shan was. But when she opened the homepage, the headline was about what happened in the gymnasium that afternoon. #iceberg beauty forcefully broke up school bell school hunk. There was a set of pictures below. The first few pictures were of Qiao Xiao and Li Shan doing street dance. One of them was of Qiao Xiao holding Li Shan's hair and sniffing it with his eyes closed. The next few pictures were of the three of them confronting each other. Li Shan looked wronged, Qiao Xiao looked angry, and she looked fierce. The building below was very high. Dumpling-loving dough bun. What's this? Two women fighting over a man? Waves with you. It's clearly Iceberg Yen who came looking for trouble, okay? Look at how happy the golden couple is dancing. Zhou Qiu. Iceberg Yen has a strong aura. She's like a tigress. Sand Eagle crossing the river. They're dancing so well. Why are you interfering? Big Frog at the bottom of the pit. Brother Chow's charm is too great. It's like a scene of sadomasochism. I'm only missing a pair of sneakers. Don't break up the golden couple. Brother Chow's fan club. Both of them are good. Brother Chow can choose either one. It's best if he accepts both of them as his fan club. As long as Brother Chow is happy. Expired biscuit. Brother Chow should be paired with Little Sweet. I think I'm more suitable than both of them. Strawberry-flavored apple. Go wash up and sleep. Brother Chow won't care about you, even if you're willing to lie at the bottom of the pit. Gathering at the village entrance to steal the goose. Goddess paired with Brother Chow, perfect. Listening to the wind is rain. Goddess paired with Brother Chow, perfect +1. Yenran threw her phone on the bed and buried herself in the quilt. She didn't want to talk or move. She didn't want to talk or move at all. The next day, Yenran's face was cold. Xiao Xiao looked at the little white bun on top of her head. She was so proud that she didn't want to talk to anyone. Xiao Xiao was still angry. His little black bun also puffed up its face. It turned its head and snorted, ignoring him. Last night, Li Shan sent him a WeChat message to ask about the situation. She even apologized to him, saying that it was because of her that the other people on the forum misunderstood the three of them. Xiao Xiao felt very comfortable. Only when he compared the two of them did he realize that there was a huge difference between a sweet little girl and a strong and cold beauty. How could there be such a perfect little girl in this world? She had a beautiful face, a good figure, a good personality, a good dancer, a good painter. She was really good at everything. Most importantly, her hair was especially fragrant. It was so fragrant that he couldn't control himself and wanted to kiss it. When he thought of that refreshing fragrance, he wanted to bury his whole head in her hair. Even if he had to die inside, he would be willing. When he had this thought, he started to dream at night. He dreamed that the fragrance lingered around his body, enveloping him and seeping into every pore of his body. He was addicted and lost. But suddenly, Bing Shan Yen appeared. He took out a huge electric fan from somewhere and blew it at him, blowing away all the fragrance around him. Xiao Xiao sat behind Yenran. Looking at the angry little bun on top of her head, he couldn't help but grit his teeth. Why did he have to disturb his dreams? Xiao Xiao chanted a spell and flicked it at the little bun. It happened to hit the little bun's head. The little bun jumped up and glared at the little black bun on top of Xiao Xiao's head. It bared its fangs and brandished its claws, wanting to fight. The little black bun also didn't want to be outdone. The two of them started to exchange blows in the air. Yenran also knew in her heart that after her little bun was flicked, she knew that it was Xiao Xiao's doing. The teacher was passionately lecturing on the podium. Yenran didn't want to turn around and stop them. She could only let the two little bun fight. Brother Qiao, what happened between you and Yenran yesterday? You caused a ruckus on Tieba. Zhang Deong secretly asked Xiao Xiao after class. Bing Shan Yen went to the gymnasium to cause trouble in order for me to rehearse. After saying this, he glared at Yenran. But Brother Qiao, you really should come to rehearse. Without you, we don't know how to act. Zhang Deong said honestly. Alright, I got it. I'll rehearse with you guys this afternoon. Very quickly, it was afternoon. The people who were rehearsing finally arrived. Yenran explained the plot to everyone and let them act it out scene by scene. The scene where they were preparing for the performance was already done. Now, they directly entered the rehearsal scene. It was Xiao Xiao teaching them one by one. But they couldn't learn it no matter how hard they tried. This caused them to feel depressed and stressed. Xiao Xiao's main job was to teach. Being depressed had nothing to do with him. When it was Xiao Xiao's turn to go on stage, he lazily sat on the chair, insisting that he had to wait for a while. There was still one person who wasn't here. Everyone was surprised. Who wasn't here? After a while, someone knocked on the door. A gentle female voice rang out. May I come in? Xiao Xiao jumped up from his chair and ran to the door. He opened the door and did a very gentlemanly action. He revealed a big smile to the girl at the door. Please come in. Yenron's face darkened when she saw this. She walked to the door and asked, We're rehearsing. Why are you here? Brother Qiao said that he was going to teach the basic movements of street dance today. I happen to want to learn too. Brother Qiao said I could come, so I came. I hope I didn't disturb you guys. Li Shan pretended to ask cautiously. Not at all. Not at all. Yenran was the one who said she would be delayed. Xiao Xiao and all the boys said that they wouldn't be delayed. The minority followed the majority. Li Shan entered the classroom under Yenran's cold gaze. She walked sideways past Xiao Xiao and Yenran. Li Chuan seemed to inadvertently flick her hair. A few strands of hair brushed past Xiao Zhao's face. Xiao Zhao seemed to be enchanted. His whole body froze. He closed his eyes in enjoyment and sniffed deeply. Yan Ran, on the other hand, didn't smell anything. In just a few seconds, Xiao Zhao returned to normal. After Li Shan entered the classroom, the other boys seemed to have been injected with chicken blood. They surrounded Li Shan and talked non-stop. Everyone fought to have Li Chuan's gaze stay on them for a while longer. Yan Ran couldn't stand it anymore. She clapped her hands and said with a cold face, "Everyone, hurry up. The sooner you finish rehearsing, the sooner you can go home. Li Shan, since you're here to learn the basic movements, then learn seriously. Don't disturb others. Let's start now." Everyone heard Director Yan's words. Her voice was so cold that it could freeze a piece of meat. They shrunk their necks in fear and returned to their seats to prepare for practice. Xiao Zhao stood in the coach's position and began to teach them the basic movements. For students who didn't have any foundation, street dancing was very difficult. However, their program was a group of students challenging an extremely difficult dance for the honor of their class. Xiao Zhao played the role of a rookie who became a master. The others were just there to accompany him. Therefore, there weren't too many requirements for the others' movements. However, the frustration of not being able to practice well fell on them. Xiao Zhao only taught a few basic movements, such as how to perform a chest shake, freeze, and body separation. He didn't teach any other difficult movements. However, he didn't expect that the chest shake would be difficult for everyone except Li Shan. While Li Shan was doing this, she kept moving her chest and stomach along with the beat. She was very flexible. Because girls' breasts were different from boys', Li Shan's breasts were very well developed. Before she started dancing, she had tied up the hem of her t-shirt, revealing her small waist. Now that she was doing this action again, she felt very sexy. A few boys could not take their eyes off her. Zhang Deong had already started to swallow his saliva. Chapter 26. Li Shan, you dance so well. Juchi started to look at Li Shan with starry eyes. As a girl, she couldn't take her eyes off Li Shan. This chest shake is too difficult. I can't coordinate it, Juchi said in distress. Li Shan smiled gently at Juchi and said, "Follow me. The key point is that only the chest moves. The rest of the body doesn't move. Come, let's try it once. 1, 2, 3. Everyone was looking at Li Shan. She was teaching Juchi seriously with her face slightly tilted. It had nothing to do with sexiness or anything else. At this moment, the afterglow of the setting sun outside the window shone on her face. The golden light caressed her hair, making her look peaceful and beautiful. The classroom suddenly became quiet. Everyone's eyes were focused on Li Shan as she talked about the key points of the movement in a low voice. Xiao Zhao leaned lazily on the windowsill with his long legs crossed. One of his legs was on the wall while the other was on the ground. His eyes were fixed on Li Shan. It was 20% infatuation and 80% appreciation. Li Shan suddenly woke up. She looked around and found that everyone was looking at her. She lowered her head embarrassedly and said softly, "Why did you all stop? Did I disturb you?" Everyone reacted as if a switch had been flipped. They immediately said, No, let's continue." Yanran looked at the scene coldly and didn't say anything. After the dance lesson, Xiao Zhao offered to send Li Shan back. Li Shan immediately waved her hand and said, No, you still have to rehearse later. I'll go back first. I won't disturb you anymore." She didn't wait for Xiao Zhao's reply and flew away like a butterfly. Yanran breathed a sigh of relief. She didn't know why, but Li Shan's departure seemed to have relieved a lot of her pressure. As the director, she didn't have the right to speak at all. Come, let's continue rehearsing. Let's continue with the last part, Yanran said to everyone. However, the few people who were rehearsing seemed to be in low spirits after Li Shan left. Their movements were always wrong and they couldn't remember their lines. The scene was a mess. Director Yenron's face had always been cold, but now it was completely dark. She got angry and said to Xiao Xiao, "Don't let Li Shan come here to practice again tomorrow. She will seriously affect everyone's mood. Look at how you're all lined up." "But Yenran, Li Shan is really good. I know all the moves she taught me just now. Although Brother Qiao dances well, he is not as good as Li Shan at teaching." Juchi suddenly whispered. Yenron's face turned even darker. "Don't practice today. I'm not in the mood at all." After Xiao Xiao finished speaking, black smoke came out from the top of his head. He picked up his bag from the table and turned to leave. "Xiao Xiao, don't you have any sense of honor for your class?" Yenran couldn't help scolding. "Facing your icy face, even my sense of honor would be scared away by you." After saying that, he left without looking back. Looking at the two big bosses quarreling, the people around them didn't dare to say anything. Yenran closed her eyes and suppressed her anger. She waved to the others and said, "That's all for today." A rehearsal was going to end on a sour note. Juchi came up timidly. She shook Yenran's sleeve and whispered, "Yenran, don't be angry. We will practice hard tomorrow." "Is this Li Shan that good?" Yenran asked helplessly. "She is very good. She is beautiful, has a good figure, and a good personality." Yenran heard the same description again. Before Juchi could finish, Yenran angrily said, "And her hair is very fragrant, right?" Her hair is fragrant? I don't think so." Yenran asked curiously, "Her hair isn't fragrant? Didn't someone say that her hair is very fragrant?" "No, Yenran, that's strange. She taught me how to dance just now. I was so close to her, but I couldn't smell it." Yenran suddenly woke up. "What about the rest of you? Did you smell her hair?" "No, Yenran. Why are you asking such a strange question? She was swinging her hair back and forth just now. We didn't smell it." Yenron's mind was racing. Could it be? After the rehearsal, Yenran didn't go home. Instead, she went straight to the teacher and asked for Li Shan's phone. Soon, Yenran met Li Shan at the entrance of the coffee shop. The two sat down in the coffee shop. It was only then that Yenran started to look at Li Shan carefully. Ever since she appeared, she was always dressed in white and black. Yenran had never seen other colors on her body. However, it was this simple look that made Li Shan look as pure as a lotus flower. She was like a clear stream that one could see the bottom of at a glance. Li Shan smiled shyly at Yenran. "I'm sorry, Yenran. I'm sorry for disturbing you guys during the rehearsal this afternoon." Yenran said bluntly, "Then please don't come tomorrow." Li Shan didn't expect Yenran to be so direct. She was stunned for a moment. "I didn't want to come. Brother Qiao asked me to come. You know that I admire Brother Qiao a lot. I want to learn from him. But when he asked me to come, I couldn't control my legs." Yenran was choked by Li Shan's words. She said dryly, "Xiao Xiao is the main member of the rehearsal team. Everyone has to cooperate with him. So, he might not have time to practice with you." Li Shan pursed her lips and smiled. "Brother Qiao said that he would coordinate it himself. I just have to listen to him." Yenran felt that it was so difficult to talk to Li Shan. Li Shan kept bringing up Xiao Xiao. She was so frustrated that she couldn't even respond. However, she felt that Li Shan was so fake. She was so perfect that she didn't look like a real person. Although she looked innocent and cute, she always gave her a feeling that she was too special. She won everyone's love as soon as she arrived. Her main target was Xiao Xiao. She was also dressed to cater to Xiao Xiao's colorblindness. All her hobbies were also targeted at Xiao Xiao. Could it be that Xiao Xiao's charisma was too great? Or also, Xiao Xiao gave her too much of a shock yesterday. He even complained that her hair didn't smell. Today, it was even weirder. Only Qiao Xiao was intoxicated by the fragrance of her hair. Was this because of Qiao Xiao himself, or was it because of Li Shan? She knew that cultivators had a spell that could hide their true nature. After special training, they would become a different kind of person. But if they were cultivators, why would there be white qi above their heads? Yanran had an idea. She cast a spell and aimed it at Li Shan-er's head. But it was like a stone sinking into the sea. Yanran was surprised. If it were a normal person, they would definitely feel dizzy. If it were a cultivator, it would be even more obvious. Take Qiao Xiao for example. If someone hit the black qi bun on his head, he would definitely feel it. But Li Shan-er was not affected at all. She was as steady as a mountain. This was just like Yanran's original feeling. She was too perfect, not like a real person. Yanran's purpose of asking Li Shan-er to come was to find out the truth. Now that she was done, she didn't know what to do. She could only emphasize that Li Shan-er should not disturb their rehearsal. Li Shan-er seemed to be taking this opportunity to get closer to Yanran. In the end, it became Li Shan-er talking non-stop while Yanran listened with a cold face. In the end, Li Shan-er had nothing else to say, so they parted ways. Yanran went straight to her grandfather's house. Her grandfather was surprised by Yanran's sudden visit. What happened? Grandpa, I found a very strange person. I'm not sure, so I came to ask for your advice. Oh, tell me about it. It was rare for her grandfather to see his granddaughter so serious. He could not help but be serious. This person just transferred to our school. She's a girl. She's good in all aspects. She's beautiful, has a good figure, and a good personality. But she gives me a strange feeling. I think she's too perfect. There can't be such a perfect person in this world. What other characteristics do you have? I have a classmate who thinks her hair is very fragrant. He can't help but want to smell it. But I and the others can't smell the fragrance in her hair. Also, I used a spell to test her, but she didn't react at all. Even a normal person would feel a breeze. But she's very strange. She's like a rubber doll. Wait. I've been reading a book about goo poison in Nanjiang. The characteristics of this person you described are very similar to the one described in the book. Come to the study with me. Elder Yen picked up a book from the bookshelf. Look, it's very clear. If a person who has just died is planted with this kind of goo, she can be resurrected. But she can only listen to the orders of the person who planted the goo. And because she's a dead person, she can do all kinds of artificial changes. You just said that you used a spell on her, but she didn't react at all. So I thought only a dead person would be indifferent to this. So she's not a cultivator. She doesn't have qi on her head. If possible, you should take her DNA and compare it with the database. If that's the case, why would she appear in our school? Think about the person you dealt with last time. Did she have goo in her hands? Grandpa, are you saying that this is the same group of people who came to take revenge for that person last time? The person you dealt with last time didn't say anything. She just said that her blood could cure the goo. If there's another strange person, it's very likely that she's here for that person last time. Elder Yen said seriously. If it's for that person last time. Yanran lowered her head and slowly sorted out her thoughts. She suddenly raised her head. Doesn't that mean Qiao Xiao is in danger? Grandpa, do you know how to deal with this kind of person? Yanran asked anxiously. The book didn't say so. I've never met one in real life. So, Yanran, you have to be careful. I don't know what kind of special ability this person has. I know, Grandpa. I have to go back quickly. Yanran left her grandpa's house in a hurry. She didn't go home directly. Instead, she took a taxi to Qiao Zhao's house. Chapter 27. All the lights in Qiao Zhao's house were on. Yanran sent a message to Qiao Xiao at the door, asking him to come down. After a while, Qiao Xiao came down. His hair was still dripping water, and he was wearing pajamas. It was obvious that he had just taken a shower. The little black bun on his head was round, and his belly was sticking out comfortably. "Why are you here?" Chow Chow was not in a good mood. "I have something important to tell you." "Can I come in?" "It's so late at night." "What do you want to do in a boy's house?" Chow Chow was flippant again. Yenran did not want to talk to him. "It's about your Li Shan, Do you want to hear it?" Then, Chow Chow and Yenran sat in the living room of Chow Zhao's house. Uncle Wu was very happy to see Yenran. "Miss Yenran, thank you for helping our young master. If he is immature in any way, please forgive him." Chow Chow choked and glared at Uncle Wu. Who was family with whom? Chow Zhao's legs were slightly swaying on the coffee table. He didn't even dry his hair and just lazily leaned on the sofa. A few drops of water slid down his slender neck and straight collarbone to the front of his pajamas. He was lazy and casual, sexy and flirtatious. Yenran avoided his eyes and took a sip of the tea that Uncle Wu had served. She said to Chow Chow, "Do you feel that there is something wrong with Li Shan? No, Li Shan is very good. She is good in all aspects. I told you that the other day." Chow Chow said disapprovingly. "Don't you think she is too perfect?" Yenran looked into his eyes and asked. Chow Chow showed a naughty smile and said, "Are you jealous of her?" "She might be the same kind of person as Maggie." Yenran said this explosive news. Chow Chow was shocked. He put his legs down from the coffee table and straightened up. "Are you delusional? She is good in all aspects. How can she be the same as Maggie? Are you saying that she has put a curse on all of us?" Yenran took a deep breath and suppressed the tightness in her chest. "I don't care if you believe it or not. I have tested her. She is not a normal person." "Is she a cultivator like you? There is no chi on her head." "She is not a cultivator, but she is not a normal person." "You're confusing me. She's neither a cultivator nor a normal person." "Then what is she? Could it be a dead person?" Chow Chow said disapprovingly. "Your guess might be right." "What? Are you kidding me? She is dead." "I don't care if you believe it or not. She has aroused my suspicions." Chow Chow laughed and then rolled on the sofa. "You are too good at making up stories. You cultivators are not only good at magic, but also have a bigger imagination than others." He smiled and looked at Yenran, who was sitting upright and still. Her expression was calm, and she didn't seem to be joking at all. Then, he looked at the stingy bun on top of her head. He also pretended to be old and solemn as he sat on top of Yenran's head. Chow Chow stopped laughing. "I want evidence. This is why I came to you. I need you to get the evidence for me." "How?" "I need you to get me a strand of her hair. I needed to do a DNA match." "Match with who?" "We have a database of human DNA. Do you remember Maggie last time? Maggie's age has never changed. She changed it in the system, but she exists. Later, we found out that she grew up at the border. As for Li Shan we suspect that she is already dead. Li Shan is so gentle and cute. How can you say that she is dead? Don't get it wrong. This is slandering her reputation." Chow Chow could not help but become serious. "I am just suspecting, so I need to find evidence first. But I found that you cultivators often talk nonsense. Didn't you think that I was filthy before? Your words are not trustworthy." Chow Chow felt that what he said made sense. "I was wrongly accused. Don't make my lovely Li Shan into a wrongly accused case." Yenran couldn't help but feel angry. Why did she feel so stifled when she heard him call her cute and gentle? The stingy bun on top of her head also put on an angry face and waved his fist at the black bun on top of Chow Zhao's head. "Also, if our speculation is correct, then this person and Maggie are in cahoots. You'll be in danger. Not only you, but also Lu Hui. So you have to be careful. Also, you said that her hair has a fragrance. It turned out that you are the only one who can smell it. No one else can. This point alone was worthy of suspicion. Also, your anger has been rising recently. I don't know if it has anything to do with this. Heavy bombs fell one after another, causing Xiao Xiao to feel dizzy. Yanran did not care about Xiao Xiao's reaction. After she finished, she left Xiao Xiao's house. Xiao Xiao sat on the sofa and thought for a long time. He recalled the time he spent with Li Shan. Suddenly, he felt an itch in his heart. The fragrance of her hair was like a poppy that hooked his heart and soul. It was as if he would go crazy if he could not smell that fragrance. He quickly returned to his bed and used the spirit attraction technique. The spiritual energy of heaven and earth quickly rushed into his body, suppressing his urge to find Li Shan. Combined with his reaction, Xiao Xiao believed Yanran's words. No girl's hair could attract him so much and make him crave it so much. Something was wrong. Something was wrong. He felt for the phone beside the bed and dialed Yanran's number. Yanran, what you said makes sense. I feel very uncomfortable. Yanran suddenly stood up. What's wrong? I feel uncomfortable. I want to smell her hair. No, don't go. You have to control yourself. I'll be right there. Yanran hung up the phone and immediately called Uncle Wu. Uncle Wu, something is wrong with Xiao Xiao. No matter what you do, you can't let Xiao Xiao go out. Then she rushed out of the house. No matter how much her mother shouted behind her, she did not hear her. Sure enough, Xiao Xiao and Uncle Wu had a fierce conflict. Xiao Xiao insisted on going out, but Uncle Wu stopped him. The evil energy on top of Xiao Xiao's head exploded, but he was still rational. He knew that he could not attack Uncle Wu, so he began to smash things in the room. Uncle Wu heard Yanran's words and simply locked Xiao Xiao in the room, letting him do whatever he wanted. When Yanran came to Xiao Xiao's house again, she saw a mess everywhere. She was shocked. Uncle Wu, what's wrong? Uncle Wu was heartbroken. Young master's evil energy acted up. He insisted on going out. I couldn't stop him, so I had to lock him in the room. Is this his first attack? Has it happened before? It has never happened before. Young master has always been peaceful and happy. Yanran asked Uncle Wu to open the door and let her in. When she went in, she found that there was no place to stand in the room. Xiao Xiao was curled up on the bed alone, holding his head with his hands and shaking it left and right. Yanran called Xiao Xiao. Xiao Xiao raised his head. His eyes were red, and the evil energy on top of his head soared to the sky, as if he wanted to eat people. Yanran quickly used magic to bind the black energy on top of his head. At the same time, she used her own purple energy to wrap Xiao Xiao's whole body. At this time, Xiao Xiao's manic desire was finally restrained and appeased. The purple energy seeped into every pore of his body, like a gentle hand caressing every cell. His whole body was soaked in warm water, warm and comfortable. Slowly, he relaxed. His hands left his head, and his eyes turned from red to black. Gradually, he lay flat on the bed. After about 15 minutes, everything calmed down. Yanran's tense heart finally relaxed. At this time, in another house in Nanchuan, Li Shan withdrew her hand and gave up doubtfully. According to her plan, she had gained Xiao Xiao's trust. Through her hair, she had transferred the evil energy to Xiao Xiao's body. This evil energy was like a drug. Once one was poisoned, they would constantly want to get closer. Getting closer was not the ultimate goal. According to her master, this evil energy could draw out the evil energy in his heart and let him die on his own. Tonight, according to her master's arrangement, she took out the evil energy that her master had refined. It was a quiet little bug in a glass container. On this full moon night, she turned off the lights in the room. Only the moonlight outside the room shone on the bug on the windowsill, and it gave off a pale white light. Li Shan chanted a long series of incantations. She pulled out a strand of hair and placed it in the glass container. The evil energy in the container woke up from its deep sleep and began to slowly crawl in the container. Li Shan saw that the evil energy was starting to move. This made her feel proud. She knew that Xiao Xiao would react to the evil energy. She could not help but smile proudly. It felt good to control a person. The bug crawled faster and faster, and it crawled around in the hair. The unique fragrance of the hair made it more and more excited. Li Shan placed another 2 strands of hair in the container. The evil energy crawled even more happily. As the reaction became more and more intense, Li Shan's smile grew wider. She knew that her mission was about to be completed. She was exhausted after pretending for so many days. She turned around and took a glass of water from the table with satisfaction. Just as she took a sip, her smile froze. She did not know what happened to the evil energy in the container, but it gradually returned to its silent state. Li Shan quickly pulled out a few more strands of hair and placed them in the container. However, this time, the evil energy did not have any reaction. It seemed that it was tired of crawling. Under the comfort of the moonlight, it slowly fell asleep. Was there something wrong with the evil energy? Li Shan felt strange. It seemed that she would not be able to go back so soon. Xiao Xiao, how are you? Xiao Xiao's body seemed to have been washed by water. He lay on the bed, and his hair was stuck to his forehead. He panted and said, I suddenly could not control my evil energy. Thank you, Yanran. Then why do you think this happened? At first, I wanted to find Li Shan. I don't know why, but I wanted to smell her hair. I felt that something was wrong. I went back to the bed and wanted to cultivate to calm myself down. Later, I found that my desire was getting stronger and stronger. I wanted to go out, but Uncle Wu did not let me. Then, I suddenly became manic. I don't know why I became like this. It's too scary. Chapter 28. It seems that my speculation is correct. There is indeed something wrong with Li Shan. Xiao Xiao, you have to calm down. I don't think she dares to do anything special during the day at school. You can rest assured, but in order to confirm her identity, you must find a way to get her hair. But I hope you can restrain yourself and stop being attracted by her hair. I can't restrain myself. What should I do? Xiao Xiao sat up from the bed and grabbed his hair in frustration. The little black bun on top of his head also had a bitter face. Then you can pretend to have a cold. Early the next morning, Xiao Xiao came to the classroom fully armed. As soon as he took off his mask, Zhang Deong burst out laughing. Brother Xiao, what kind of style are you wearing today? It's ruining your wise and great image. Ma Xiaoxian looked back and also laughed. Brother Xiao, don't you look like you have scallions in your nostrils? Are you pretending? Ha ha ha. Xiao Xiao pretended to kick Ma Xiaoxuan's desk. I'm the most handsome person in the school even if I pretend. Xiao Xiao's nostrils were stuffed with 2 balls of tissue paper. The sweet girl Juchi came over. Brother Xiao, do you have a cold? Do you want me to buy you cold medicine? No, Brother Xiao, I have a good physique. I'll be fine in a while. It's just that my nose is a little stuffy. Yanran walked into the classroom and saw Xiao Xiao like this. She still walked to her seat expressionlessly, but the little purple bun on top of her head couldn't stop laughing. The little black bun on top of Xiao Xiao's head glared at her. His little black hand moved for a long time and imitated the shape of a middle finger. He stretched it forward. The little purple bun was stunned. She put her hands on her waist and squatted down. She turned her head and ignored him. Soon, the day's classes were over. It was time for the class to rehearse in the afternoon. Yanran winked at Xiao Xiao, telling him to find a way to get the hair. After last night, Xiao Xiao was a little afraid of getting close to Li Shan. He was afraid that he would not be able to resist her temptation. Therefore, he stuffed his nose with a paper ball, put on a large mask, and walked to the door of Li Shan's class. Hi! He waved his hand and beckoned her to come out. Li Shan was still thinking about how to get close to Xiao Xiao. When she saw that Xiao Xiao had taken the initiative to come to her, she was so happy that she skipped out of the classroom. The gazes of the surrounding students followed Li Shan's perfect figure. When they saw Xiao Xiao at the door, they all winked at each other. Xiao Xiao was leaning against the railing with his elbows in the opposite direction. His hands were in his pockets, and his legs were crossed as he leaned against the railing. He looked casual and lazy. Li Shan-er let out a big smile. This was the first time that Xiao Xiao had taken the initiative to come to her. It seemed that her plan was going well. If it was not for her master's order, she would really be attracted to this boy. It seemed that last night was just an accident. Hey, Xiao Xiao, what's wrong with you? Why are you covering your face so tightly? Li Shan-er's big eyes were full of concern. Xiao Xiao's heart skipped a beat. I caught a cold yesterday. I don't want to pass it to you guys. We have to rehearse today. Are you coming? Oh, no wonder he failed last night. He caught a cold. It seemed that he had to increase the dosage. Well, Yanran doesn't seem to like me. I won't be going today. I hope that you can teach me alone when you're free. Is that okay? Li Shan-er stared at Xiao Xiao's beautiful almond-shaped eyes. She pouted and looked at him pleadingly. Of course. I caught a cold these 2 days. When I'm better, I'll ask you out alone. That's great. Hey, brother Xiao, don't move. I think there's something on your hair. Let me remove it for you. Li Shan-er stood on her tiptoes and tilted her head slightly to the side. She reached forward with her right hand, trying to remove the dust on Xiao Xiao's hair. At this moment, her hair was directly under Xiao Xiao's nose. Although Xiao Xiao had covered his nose, a faint fragrance wafted into his nose. Xiao Xiao took a deep breath like a fish that had not seen water for a long time. Damn! It smelled so good. He was willing to die because of it. Li Shan-er looked at Xiao Xiao's reaction. She was very pleased with herself. She deliberately moved closer to him. Xiao Xiao grabbed her hair and put it on the tip of his nose. Shan-er, your hair smells so good. Ah, brother Xiao. Li Shan-er pretended to shout and said embarrassedly, Brother Xiao, people are watching. Xiao Xiao looked around. Indeed, he and Li Shan-er had crossed the line in front of so many people. Xiao Xiao immediately said, Then I'll leave first. After he returned to the classroom, he walked directly to Yanran. He opened his hand, revealing 2 strands of hair. The Oscar is yours, Yanran said expressionlessly. Xiao Xiao moved closer to Yanran's ear and said, I couldn't control myself just now. It was so scary. Didn't you cover your nose? It didn't work. I still smelled it. The interaction between Xiao Xiao and Li Shan-er just now was recorded by someone. The angle of the video was very strange. At first glance, it was obvious that it was taken from the side. Li Shan-er turned her head to help Xiao Xiao dust, and Xiao Xiao grabbed Li Shan-er's hair. From the side, it looked like Xiao Xiao was kissing Li Shan-er. This caused a stir on Tieba. Hashtag School Hunk and School Bell's suspected relationship exposed. Hashtag Big Frog at the bottom of the pit. It's true. It's true. School Hunk and School Bell. I'm only missing a pair of sneakers. How dare he kiss in school? He's too brave. Loudmouth small broadcast. School Hunk is obsessed with School Bell's hair. What brand of shampoo does he use? I want School Hunk to be obsessed with me too. Brother Xiao's fan group. I'm going to have to wait for the #1 harem of School Hunk. After reading the description on Tieba, Xiao Xiao touched his nose and sent a WeChat message to Yanran. Tieba is full of nonsense. Please don't take it to heart. Yanran didn't have the habit of looking at Tieba. There were all kinds of nonsense on Tieba, and it was a waste of her time. She didn't expect Xiao Xiao to take the initiative to remind her. After looking at it, she directly replied to Xiao Xiao. Are you planning to build a harem? Is there enough room at home? Do you want to move to a bigger house? Xiao Xiao replied with an emoji of a head hitting the ground. Then, he sent a little jumping up and down to show his loyalty. Yanran smiled and closed WeChat. She ignored him. The 2 strands of hair in her hand were the key evidence. She went to her grandfather's house and asked him to send someone to check it immediately. Her grandfather's people were very efficient. The results came out that night. Yenran knew about it as soon as she woke up in the morning. Just as they had guessed, the DNA of the owner of the hair was matched to that of a deceased person from Nanjiang. That person was about 16 or 17 years old when he died, which was about the same age as Li Shan. However, there was a huge difference in appearance and figure. He had drowned 3 years ago. Her grandfather was very serious about this. He wanted to send someone to arrest Li Shan. However, Yenran told her grandfather, the most important thing is how to remove the curse. Do we still need to use her blood? Now it seems that there is someone behind her. The dead person was able to come back to life. She must have been implanted with some kind of curse. She must have been modified to become another person. It's not hard to catch her, but it will be difficult to catch the person behind her. Yenran analyzed. Let's catch her first. We can't let such a scourge live in the world. As for her motive, we can interrogate her slowly. Elder Yen made the final decision. Yenran thought it was a good idea. At least Xiao Xiao wouldn't have to live in fear all the time. Her grandfather acted quickly. The next day, the news of Li Shan-er's sudden disappearance spread around the school. Xiao Xiao looked at Yenran and asked, "You did it?" Grandpa said that the evidence is conclusive. Let's just deal with it. That's it. Xiao Xiao couldn't believe it. Yes, what else do you want? Yenran suddenly moved closer to Xiao Xiao and snorted, "You can't bear to part with the number one person in your harem." Damn, he's being naughty. The harem is only for one person. Who's afraid of who? Life went back to normal. The disturbance caused by the disappearance of a person on campus soon died down. It was said that something happened to her family after she transferred to another school. Xiao Xiao and Yenran seemed to have forgotten this episode. They devoted themselves to the preparation of the New Year's Eve party. After this period of time, the program was finally straightened out, and the cooperation became more and more tacit. Then they welcomed the New Year's Eve party. I'm so nervous. Will I mess up my performance for the first time? The sweet girl Jiaqi changed into her performance costume and was still trembling backstage. Don't worry. We didn't dance well before. Even if we mess it up, it's still our own performance. Zhang Deong straightened up and comforted Jiaqi, but his hands kept moving, revealing his nervousness. Xiao Xiao sat on the chair with his legs apart. He was nervously playing games on his mobile phone. Yenran grabbed his mobile phone and said to him, "It's almost time. Stop playing." Damn, I'm still one level away. Can't you just let me play for a while? Xiao Xiao said irritably. The performance was successful. Today is a day off. You can play however you want. Yenran said to everyone calmly. You don't have to memorize the book? Xiao Xiao's eyes suddenly widened. I don't have to memorize, but the premise is to act. Done. Yenran gave each of them a carrot and a stick. Yeah, that's great. Don't worry, I'll make sure you get the first place. Xiao Xiao was the first to jump up. Next, please enjoy the New Year's Eve party brought by Grade 1, 3. The lights suddenly turned on. Several students went on stage. They were discussing something intensely. What's the New Year's Eve program? Singing, dancing, poetry recitation, musical performance. What else can it be? It has to be unique and creative. What's the point of doing the same thing? Then what do you say? It's so difficult. We have to innovate every year. I can't think of anything even if I break my head. The audience below echoed. That's right. It's so hard to think of a new program every year. Forget it. Let's just dance. Let's let Brother Qiao teach us how to dance. You can dance with this level of skill? Are you trying to challenge your limits? Then what should we do? It's so frustrating. The lights dimmed. The first scene ended. The second scene lit up. Xiao Xiao was teaching a few people how to dance. I'll teach you the simplest moves today. As long as you can learn them, you'll definitely shine on the New Year's Eve party. Chow Xiao said confidently. However, things didn't go as planned. They couldn't learn the simplest moves no matter how hard they tried. Everyone was depressed. The lights in the second scene dimmed. The atmosphere on stage sank to the bottom. Chapter 29. The lights for the third scene lit up. It was Zhang Dayang's house at 2 a.m. He was still watching Qiao Zhao's video and practicing with all his might. His back was drenched in sweat. Although his movements were a little comical and not very accurate, the determination on his face moved all the audience. The fourth scene was at school. At 6 a.m., a young lady quietly pushed open the door of the gymnasium. She turned on the phone she carried with her and started practicing hard. She was practicing a spinning movement. If she wasn't careful, she would lose her balance and fall. However, she didn't even blink as she stood up and continued practicing. Every time Juchi fell, she pursed her lips and held back her tears. Her stubborn look touched everyone present. The fifth and sixth scenes were all scenes where each of them practiced hard. Finally, the audience could see that their cooperation was getting better and better. Their tacit understanding was getting better and better. Everyone's movements were getting more and more skillful. Although they weren't at a professional level, they had already succeeded in challenging themselves. The 10th scene was their official performance on stage. Yanran made the announcement and Qiao Xiao led his team on stage to perform. Qiao Zhao's left hand was placed on his abdomen, his right hand pointed to the sky, and he opened his legs confidently. The surrounding students formed a circle around Qiao Xiao and knelt on one knee with their heads facing inwards. When the moving music started, Qiao Xiao performed a few consecutive chest vibrations, shocking the audience. Screams rang out instantly. Then, the circle opened up and everyone stood in their original formation. Qiao Xiao was at the front doing difficult movements while the backup dancers behind him followed Qiao Zhao's every movement. Although there were only a few fixed rhythms, everyone couldn't make any mistakes. Otherwise, the entire dance would be messy and disorderly. Yanran watched as Qiao Xiao danced. The little black bun on top of her head also jumped up and down. Sometimes, the amplitude was a little big, but she didn't pay much attention to it. That was because her palms were sweating from nervousness. However, the audience's feelings were completely different from Yanran's. They had only seen the videos on Tieba, but they did not expect Qiao Zhao's live performance to be so exciting. The entire auditorium went crazy. As the last drum beat fell, Qiao Xiao and his dance partners froze perfectly, and the whole performance came to a perfect end. Then, the audience heard Qiao Zhao's voice ring out. Although the main character of this dance is me, the main characters of today's program are all of you. All of you who are fighting for the program, all of you who are fighting for your lives. The audience was in an uproar. The teachers also stood up and applauded for Qiao Xiao and the others. They applauded for this group of youths and for their struggles in life. Yanran finally showed a gratified smile. Yanran, let's celebrate together later. Zhang Dayang shouted as soon as he got off the stage. Yanran said with a smile, let's go. No problem, it's my treat. Unexpectedly, Qiao Xiao suddenly said, we still have something to do. You guys go ahead. Then, he pulled Yanran away. Zhang Dayang could not get Qiao Xiao to turn back no matter how much he shouted. What's wrong with brother Qiao? Did something happen? Didn't he perform very well just now? I saw brother Qiao. He seems to be sweating a lot. His eyes are also a little red. Is he feeling a little uncomfortable? Qiao Xiao was indeed a little uncomfortable. He did not know what happened when he was dancing just now, but he suddenly felt that there was something strange about the devil aura. As he danced, he spent a lot of effort to suppress it. When it was finally over and he finished his last sentence, he could not hold it in anymore. He got off the stage and pulled Yanran away. Yanran was pulled away by him with a smile on her face. For a moment, she was confused. What's wrong? Qiao Xiao, what's wrong? Come home with me quickly. I seem to be unable to control my devil aura, Xiao Xiao said anxiously. Yanran was shocked. How could this be? She looked at Xiao Xiao's head. His little black bun was indeed running wild. Yanran recited a chant and quickly calmed the little bun down. Then, they quickly took a taxi and returned to Xiao Xiao's house. After Xiao Xiao returned home, he no longer suppressed himself and walked around. However, he did not know what to do. He first ran to the gym on the second floor and waved the sandbag. When he found that it did not work, he jumped into the pool on the first floor. Yanran followed him upstairs and downstairs. She was too anxious to help. Yanran, tie me up. I feel uncomfortable. I'm going to explode. Yanran had the same idea. She used magic to fix Xiao Xiao to the bed. However, Xiao Xiao's eyes were still gradually turning red. The little black bun on his head was struggling to break free from Yanran's restraint. Yanran was also anxious. Xiao Xiao, what are you feeling? Xiao Xiao closed his eyes. He felt that it was difficult to talk about it. Tell me. If you don't tell me, how can I help you? I miss Li Shan Er's hair. I think I'm finished. I've been poisoned by her. Yanran, I miss her hair so much. At this time, Xiao Xiao was like a drug addict who could not control his consciousness. In the beginning, he was still speaking nicely to Yanran. But later, he couldn't take it anymore. His eyes were red, as if he wanted to eat someone. He screamed crazily at Yanran, "Give me Li Shan Er's hair. Give me her hair." Yanran looked at Xiao Xiao's crazy appearance and frowned. She called Grandpa. Soon, someone knocked on the door downstairs. Yanran went down to open the door and came back with a package in her hand. Yanran brought a delicate fragrance into Xiao Xiao's room. Xiao Xiao's eyes suddenly lit up. His antidote was here. Yanran took out a handful of hair from the package. Xiao Xiao quickly snatched the hair from Yanran's hand like a madman and buried his head in the hair to smell it. At this time, he completely ignored his image and let his evil energy run wild, exposing his ugliest side to Yanran. Yanran looked at all this in shock. She began to regret taking Li Shan Er's hair. This was another woman's hair, but at this moment, Xiao Xiao was holding it in her hands like a treasure. Xiao Xiao needed to rely on this filthy thing to control her devil qi, which made her want to grind her silver teeth to pieces. Was there no way to solve it? Wasn't this forcing him to quit? She snatched the hair from Xiao Xiao's hand. Xiao Xiao, I won't let you rely on it. You have to overcome it with your own willpower. I don't believe it. You can't do it. I'm telling you, this is Li Shan Er's hair, but it's a drug. It's the drug you're addicted to. Do you want to be controlled by it forever? Don't even think about it. Xiao Xiao didn't know where he got the strength from, but he suddenly broke free from Yanran's restraint on the bed. His eyes were red and purple, and his whole face was distorted. The evil energy above his head had already erupted to the ceiling, as if it was going to pierce through it. Give it to me! Give it to me! Xiao Xiao reached his right hand toward Yanran and began to scream hysterically. Yanran's eyes became colder and colder. The whole room seemed to have fallen into an ice cave. She cast an even more powerful spell and directly tied Xiao Xiao's body from top to bottom and tied her to the bed. Xiao Xiao struggled on the bed with all his might. The veins on his head were bulging, and his wrist bones were protruding because of his strong grip. Because he couldn't move his hands and feet, his whole body bounced up and down on the bed like a worm. Xiao Xiao was so uncomfortable that he stuck out his tongue and foamed at the mouth. His eyes were fixed on the black hair in Yanran's hand. Yanran's heart was burning with anger, and it burned from her chest to her head. She also stared at Xiao Xiao. You won't give up. I'll burn it. Let's see if you still want it then. No, please don't. Give it to me. Xiao Xiao no longer cared about his dignity. He began to sob and beg Yanran. Yanran opened the door coldly and asked Uncle Wu for a metal bucket and a lighter. She put the bucket by the bed and put some waste paper in it. She lit it with the lighter. Soon, the room was filled with a burning smell, and smoke drifted everywhere. Chow Chow struggled even harder. No, no. His eyes were filled with fear. Yenran ignored him. She cut the hair into several pieces with scissors and threw them into the brazier bit by bit. Chow Zhao's fear slowly turned into despair. At the same time, his body began to twist rapidly, as if he was being controlled by something. In Li Shan-er's house, the little worm in the glass case crazily climbed up and kept hitting the glass case with its body. The case was very hard. The little worm's body was bleeding, but it still could not break through. At the same time, Chow Zhao's neck was covered with black lines. It was obvious that something was wriggling under his skin. Yenran lowered her head and did not look at Chow Zhao's reaction. She only knew to put the hair in her hand into the brazier bit by bit, and let it burn to ashes. The whole room was filled with the smell of burnt protein. As the last strand of hair was burned, the black lines in Chow Zhao's body broke out of his neck and flew to the brazier by the bed like moths to a flame. The little worm in the case suddenly exploded at the last moment before the hair was burned, leaving a pool of dirty water in the glass case. With the wound on his neck, Chow Zhao finally couldn't hold on and fainted. At the same time, the smoke in the room was so thick that it triggered a smoke alarm. A bucket of cold water was poured down from above. Yenran sat motionless in the cold water. The fire was gradually extinguished by the water. Her whole body was drenched, and the anger in her heart was extinguished. She raised her head and looked at Chow Zhao on the bed. Chow Zhao's condition was terrible. Because of the struggle, all the places that were bound were covered with blood or large patches of bruises. There was a bloody wound on his neck, and black blood was still flowing out. His clothes and hair were all wet, sticking to his body messily. It was unknown whether it was from his sweat or from being drenched by the water. Yenran stood up and let the water splash on her face. She used her hand to push away the wet hair in Chow Zhao's eyes. Her eyes were full of emotions. Chapter 30. It was New Year's Day after the New Year's Eve party. Chow Zhao slept at home for 3 days. He recalled his ugly behavior that day and wished he could wrap himself in a blanket and bury himself in a hole. He was a little scared. What could have controlled his mind and made him so crazy that it was like he was addicted to drugs? He called Lu Hui and told him about his experience. He told him to be careful and pay attention to whether there were any strange people around. The enemy was in the dark, but he was in the light. He was at a loss for what to do with the constant fear and anxiety. Yenran told him that because of the demonic energy, it was easy for him to be contaminated. If he wanted to solve his problem completely, he had to get rid of the demonic energy. When a person was faced with something that he could do, he might try harder or think about it. But when it came to something that was completely impossible, Chow Zhao let it go. Yes, how could a prince of the devil world get rid of the demonic energy? Let the demonic energy come more violently. Uncle Wu was right. If you were strong enough, you could defeat these little demons. When did the demons of the devil world dare to challenge the authority of the Devil King? Wasn't it as easy as crushing an ant? Alright, that's all I can do. I have to speed up my cultivation and make my demonic energy stronger to crush these ants. Chow Zhao consciously shifted part of his gaming time to cultivation. The days continued as usual. Fortunately, for him, there were no side effects. Instead, it seemed that some of the toxins had been expelled. His eyes seemed to be able to see some color. A blessing in disguise. Other than the awkwardness of seeing Yenran, everything was normal. Soon, it was time for the final exam. This time, Uncle Wu and Yenran set the goal for him to be in the top 300 of the grade. Otherwise, the games during the winter break would be ruined. For the greatest pleasure in life, Chow Zhao had been desperately memorizing books for the past 2 days. Brother Chow, I noticed a big change in you recently. You don't sleep in class anymore. Let me interview you. How did you change your mind? Zhang Deong sits next to him every day and is very concerned about his changes. What's there to explain? It's all for the sake of my game. That landlord Yenran gave me a lot of quests every day, so I was forced to change my mindset, Chow Xiao replied lifelessly. Yanran arranged it for you. Can you lend it to me? Everyone wants the notes of the year's top student. Brother Chow, you don't know how lucky you are. Ma Xiaoxian also came over. Take it. Just take it. I'm annoyed to see it here. Chow Xiao directly threw the key points that Yanran had drawn for him to Ma Xiaoxian. Ma Xiaoxian hurriedly flipped through it as if he had found a treasure. After 5 minutes, he respectfully returned the notes to Chow Xiao. Brother Chow, this was specially made for you by Yanran teacher. You should kindly accept it. I won't trouble you. The sweet girl Juchi felt strange. Ai, why don't you want such a good thing? Let me see. She flipped through it for a while, and respectfully returned it to Chow Xiao. Brother Chow, this is a gift for you. We won't take part in it. Chow Xiao felt strange. Just now you all said that you wanted to see the notes of the year's number 1. Why didn't you want it after seeing it? Hurry up and explain it to me. Otherwise, I won't let you go today. Zhang Deong. Speak. Zhang Deong rubbed his nose and could only helplessly say, Brother Chow, most of what Yanran teacher gave you is for middle school. Of course they won't read it. What? This Bingshan Yen is looking down on me. But it seems like I didn't study well in middle school. Bingshan Yen walked into the classroom under Chow Zhao's silent criticism. Seeing everyone staring at her, she asked curiously, What happened? Nothing. Yanran teacher's notes hit a student's sore spot. It's quite valuable. Zhang Deong said honestly. Oh, that was specially made for Chow Xiao. His foundation isn't good, so he needs to start from the basics. Pooh! Did she have to say it so directly? Chow Xiao gnashed his teeth in hatred. But Yanran was right. Memorizing books for hours every day made Chow Xiao very worried. Yanran saw the little black gas bun on Chow Zhao's head. He was listless every day. One day, she couldn't take it anymore and said to him, Where's your demon chi? Why can't you let it enter your brain more? Why does it have to enter my brain? My brain is used to store other things. Where can I store demon chi? Yanran looked at him as if she had seen a ghost. When you cultivate, let your chi pass through your brain. This way, your brain will be a lot clearer and you'll be able to memorize books with half the effort. You can't even do this? There was such a thing. I really don't know where your demon chi comes from. Yanran now knew that Chow Zhao's demon chi was different from the evil chi above the heads of bad people. Although it was black, it clearly wasn't formed from years of doing evil things. She guessed that the demon chi above Chow Zhao's head should also be formed through cultivation. Chow Xiao followed the method Yanran taught him. When the spirit chi passed through his brain, he really felt refreshed. However, after his brain was clear, he was more willing to dance, sing, and play games. Memorizing books was still the last task that he had to do. The final exam was coming soon. Because Chow Xiao made a mistake during the exam last time, he was still arranged to be in the last classroom this time. With the experience last time, he knew that he could only rely on himself during the exam. If everyone helped each other, the 300th grade would definitely be gone. As usual, he saw a bunch of acquaintances. They were used to Chow Zhao's appearance in this classroom. Anyway, his bad grades wouldn't affect other people's admiration for him. Chow Xiao was actually very satisfied with his current state. Cheba was full of information about him every day. There was no privacy on campus. About what he ate, what he drank, and which girl he talked to, people would talk about it. As for his harem, because one left and now there was an empty seat, it attracted more people in the school. Chow Xiao thought that he wasn't cut out for studying. After this experience in the human world, he couldn't turn himself into a bookworm. His life needed to be watched by everyone so that he could shine. But the premise of shining was to complete his studies and achieve teacher Yanran's goal. The exam lasted for 3 days. Chow Zhao's whole person was very depressed. Who gave this exam? It was specifically for questions that he didn't know how to answer. He only memorized the questions that Yanran gave him. He estimated that he could only get a pass. Xiao Xiao was worried about his vacation. What Xiao Xiao didn't know was that not only was he worried about his vacation, but far away in Nanjiang, there was a woman who had long been thinking about him. At the border of Nanjiang, there was a small house. This was a no-man's land. Outside the door was a large field of poppies, and this small house was surrounded by poppies. Although it was small, it wasn't very small. It was 4 stories high. From the outside, it looked slightly shabby, but the interior was decorated magnificently. This place seemed to be isolated from the rest of the world. Everyone who entered this place drove in military armored vehicles. It was a 2-hour journey from the city, and only a seductive woman and her few servants lived here. The entire house had 2 floors, and it was the woman's laboratory. There were all kinds of strange equipment in it, and there were some living creatures in each of the equipment. The servants who were hired to work here in the beginning would have goosebumps all over their bodies. Later, they gradually got used to it. The woman would give them a kind of pill regularly. This kind of pill would make them more loyal, and the more they liked their master. "Master, our people have failed their mission." A man was remotely reporting to the seductive woman. "Oh, failed again. What's the reason this time?" The woman was smearing something on her fingernails. "That boy is not simple. There is someone behind him. They have seen through Li Shan-er's identity." The subordinate reported respectfully. "Where did Li Shan-er expose herself?" "This is my masterpiece. I only have one in 3 years." The woman's hand paused, and she stopped what she was doing. "I don't know where she exposed herself. It's just that she was suddenly taken away one night, and we don't know where she went." "What about our little cutie? Was it found out?" The goo worm was not discovered, but when I went to take a look, it had already exploded and died in the glass case. "What? The goo that I cultivated with all my heart died? My 3 years of hard work was destroyed just like that?" The woman threw the brush in her hand into the trash can. "This is a powerful person. Last time, Maggie was destroyed by them. This time, Li Shan-er was also destroyed. My 2 important chess pieces are gone just like that. What do you think I should do?" The seductive woman's voice was getting colder. The subordinate's scalp tingled. "Yes, master. As the saying goes, know thyself and know thy enemy, and thou shalt be victorious. We lost because we didn't know him well enough. He thought that the world was invincible, so he acted rashly. What kind of person is he? He is just an ordinary high school student. I didn't find anything special about him. I only heard that he is good at dancing, and he is handsome. Then how could he resist Li Shan-er's goo? Could it be that it was a coincidence? This boy's luck is too good. I don't think it's the boy who is powerful. It's another group of people who are fighting against us." "Why do you say that?" "Because Maggie and Li Shan-er were both taken away by the National XX Bureau. This boy can't possibly mobilize the National XX Bureau. Could it be that someone has been spying on us?" "Master, I have such a guess. You have to be careful. Investigate our own people thoroughly and see if there is a mole. Also, recently, there have been some cultivators in the vicinity who have frequently come to search. I feel that they have already become suspicious of us. We have to be careful. If we provoke them, we will have to bear the consequences." The seductive woman snorted. "Even if we lose Maggie, we still have thousands of Maggies. We can't lose our source of income. Also, check if we have enough medicine recently. We have used a lot of medicine, and we can't keep up with the supply. Also, we can't let this boy go. Is winter vacation coming soon? He should come out for a walk." You're tuning in to the Narrate and Escape YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.